Dog ludicrous.
Yeah, move. Get out the way.
We forgot to record.
We forgot to record.
Real quick, let me just do this. It makes me feel better when I do it.
Uh-huh.
Hi, everybody. Once again, I forgot to record. So the first, 5 or 10 minutes, not long. This time, not long. Yeah.
8-ish.
First 8-ish minutes, gonna sound a little whack. Now it's fixed.
Yeah. We also could just do the cold opening again.
We could. Do you want to?
Listen, we were just talking cold opening, so if you want to skip it, just skip it.
Just skip it.
Yeah, we'll get to the highly educational anime talk, and
Way faster.
And you can skip the cold opening, or you can listen to us. It'll sound slightly echoey. It's not that bad. This is just how the live broadcast listens to it. But yeah, the button is on Danny's side. I'd like for everyone to know that, the little red button.
I usually don't have responsibilities on this podcast. Now moving into this new place, I do. And my pay hasn't been increased.
I just Venmo'd you $500.
Like 2 weeks late.
Fair. We were supposed to have a call with Gamer Sups. I missed it. I completely whiffed that one.
Wow, we're really living the rock star life. You're too hungover on drugs.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, oh, sorry, I was packing for China. It was very much just like soaking in sun in the backyard with Dorothy.
Packing for China, all right.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Trying to sneak drugs into the place where drugs get you murdered. Yeah, no thank you.
So are we just picking up?
I think we're just going to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like the idea, going back to Mortal Kombat, I like the idea that that's what a meeting in Warner Brothers headquarters looks like. It's like one person is like, so Liu Kang is like a god now. So what if he snaps and a black hole opens and it he grabs you and the black hole sucks the skin off your opponent. That's pretty cool. And they're like, that's pretty good. Yeah. And then one person is just like, all right, Raiko grabs your wrist and he snaps them at the fibia and tibia.
Yeah.
Those go right in your fucking eyeballs, man. Right in your fucking eyes. Then he spins you around, but your torso spins and your lower half doesn't.
And then meat puppet. We need a meat. We don't have enough meat puppets. So you know how sometimes we're ripping spines out? Yeah, that's what he's gonna do because you're not dead enough already. Sure, you've been spun. Sure, you got your own bones in your neck. But here we're gonna make your head all flaccid because your skull gets ripped out of the side of your back. And the little people in suits are like, wow.
Yeah, wow.
I like
good,
that we brought this guy on. This is a good guy. Listen, where do we find this guy? Oh, Death Row. Gotcha. Okay, good.
I'm glad we brought Crack Steve.
Yeah. The fact that those have to go through fatalities, or people have to be like, nah, could we? Are we sure the body rips like that?
Yeah.
And okay, fine.
But what if his balls exploded though? Can we get a test on that? Test on the balls explode? Yeah.
Intern, get up here.
Yeah, can we focus group that? What if his balls exploded too much? Got it.
Got it.
Well, that's the thing. Every time one of these games come out, Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, will go on his interview, press tour or whatever, and he's always like, my job now as a 60-year-old man at this game company is he oversees everything. He makes suggestions and people will bring him ideas, including fatalities.
Oh, God.
And he okays them. And every time a game comes out, he's always like, yeah, they bring me some. I veto the ones that are just way too much, way over the top.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, that's what I'm like. Fucking release those. Let me know what those are.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's a 35-minute fatality. It's just it's a mini condensed Saw movie.
I want to know what the rejected fatalities are and how often they involve genitals. I bet when interviewing for new or the orientation process.
It's grab Sonya Blade by her labia and just start pulling. I think we're gonna have to access one, Chief.
I bet the orientation process is him being like, how's it going, everybody? First day, free bagels, no genital mutilation.
We can't start with the cock, but we can end there. You need to work your way down.
Yeah.
My thing is, this has to be the most violent fatalities have ever been, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mortal Kombat 15. Is it just gonna be a snuff film? What's gonna happen?
I love that you brought this up because one of my favorite things to think about is
because they used to just be fire, I'm a skeleton now. And now it's I'm gonna drag you into hell and tear you apart limb by limb.
Well, it's interesting because nowadays video games are way less violent, I would say, in terms of like, or like the tone is different. Like in like the 2010s, the tone was definitely like gritty, badass, edgy, over the top.
Gears of War.
Yeah, like Gears of War, Dead Space, like Modern Warfare, the originals, where you like walk into an airport and mow everybody down.
They're like, hey, you can skip this one. You're like, nope. Yeah.
Like every game was trying to one up each other on how edgy they could be. And I wonder if like, yes, we stopped doing that because like Fortnite sells really well and like games marketed to like kids and adults sell well. Yeah. So like put cat ears on Master Chief.
Put fucking, I don't know, like Mr. Beast in a game. Yeah.
Like
get Nicki Minaj in COD.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj, 21 Savage are in COD. But it's like, I get that stuff sells well. But I wonder if there's also like a side of it that's like, hey, graphics are getting too good for us to get this fucking crazy anymore.
Yeah. Like, it's like, we need to do like real life studies on like, it's like, there was that one game where they put in like, there was like this like indie game. I think Markiplier played it at some point, and it's like a literal scene where they show just like an actual human cut off face, like a person who had their face cut off. And it was just it was like a jump scare. It was like a picture of like a dude's face cut off, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? I was like, that's the thing. I was like, it's at a certain point we're just gonna be like, oh, that's an actual guy dying. Like, it's just gonna be at one of these points. It's gonna be like Johnny Cage kicks you into like a movie, and it's actually just like an Al Qaeda guy getting shot in the head. Like, it's like, that's real life war combat.
It's like, it just cuts to war footage.
It's just like a drone hitting a school, and you're like, what? No,
that'd be great. I just
like, we gotten real wild.
I just love like the intro of like Modern Warfare 7 is just like footage from like the Ukrainian war. Like,
is that children? Like, what are we doing here?
I know that guy.
That's me. Wait, what?
It's just like a shot of you in your bedroom with like a sniper bead on you.
Like, pull the trigger? I don't think I want to.
That's some Gun Gale stuff right there, huh?
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Otakus Anonymous. That's the ending of our fucking incredibly tyrannical and two-parted cold open. Danny decided to do the cold opening because Weeb Commander has been unfollowed, which means I'm following Honestly Brutal. I'm unfollowing him. Yeah.
That's fine.
I can't, you're like, you and everybody else at this point. Fucking all the MK1 lovers.
Yeah, you and every meat riding fucking NetherRealm fan.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to sound like shit, mostly because I spent 3 days screaming.
At a German
drinking.
Sex cult.
It
from
was
the
not,
looks of it.
Okay.
I didn't know you had a leather harness.
I no longer have it. I had to throw it out. It broke in 2 different places. Yeah.
That's a better reason than I thought why you... I thought it was just covered in slime.
Oh, no, yeah. This man was just bucking me out.
Just like after the festival, like you sober up and you're like, what is this fucking sludge all over me?
Why is it so viscous and cold? Yeah. No, so I was at Lost Lands in Ohio.
Which is a music festival.
Like big dubstep music festival. Me and Dorothy had a great time. Danny apparently has never seen what people wear to raves. Because it's not a lot. People don't wear a lot of clothes, you know?
I've seen that before. Like I have people I went to high school with who go to raves and stuff. It's different when I've known you for like so long and then I see you on Instagram in like a fucking leather spiked diaper.
Yeah.
Like,
it was okay. First off, it was literally a Roman gladiator, like palder. Is that what they call them? Pauldrons?
Yeah. Pauldron? Yeah. Pauldron,
so it's a crossbody, like black leather thing. It had like a little like leather layers on one arm, and I definitely got it at a sex shop, and it was called Male Power, and I was like, that's fucking sick, and so I wore it, and then Dorothy tried to grab me out of like, she was trying to like, get me to go somewhere, she grabbed me and just popped it, I was like, fuck. So I was like flapping around for the end of that, and just took it off and threw it in the trash.
You know what's funny? Dorothy looked so different, because I'm used to Dorothy looking like incredibly like businessy and like chic and professional. Dorothy looked so different that what I saw her first on the photo, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And I saw you and I was like, who is this Asian woman Nick is holding? When Dorothy finds out, Dorothy?
That's so funny. So for the first like 2 weeks I knew Dorothy, I never saw her without like that level of makeup. It was like, so we would hang out, get hammered. She'd fall asleep with her makeup on. I would go hang out with my friends. And I'd come back like 6 or 7 hours later. We'd go out, get hammered again. But by that time, she'd already taken off makeup and redone it. So I was like, the first time I ever like saw her, I was like, oh my God, Still very pretty, obviously, but it's like a different thing entirely when like the first time you see her girl without makeup. So I guess it's kind of like that because she goes all out. She goes like big falsies, huge eyeshadow. She looked gorgeous. She looked absolutely fantastic. It's like why I love going to raves with her. She looks great. But yes, it was a great time. Got to meet a couple of DJs, hang out. Definitely did no illicit drugs. Okay,
nice,
so Nick's
good for you.
Nick's good guy. Just White Claws all weekend.
I did a lot of drugs on my weekend. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just at home, just sad.
You, your pool party.
Yeah, just missed you.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just trying to compensate here at this point.
It wasn't even like I was just in my room. The pool party was going on outside, and I was just like, this is a good time for some H.
Wailing lines. Like, oh my God, DMT sounds great in this room right now.
But you also met some fans, some listeners. I got DM'd about, oh my God, you don't even remember. These poor people.
I met one or two. I didn't meet that many. I met way less than I usually do.
I got la-di-da.
I was also there with Winnie, who's my tattoo artist, and he got recognized like every 3 minutes. And I was like, it was such an ego check. I was like, fuck.
That's sick.
But he's also like a 6-foot Majoran man with face tattoos and like lip piercings and a tail. Yeah. So very easy to spot. I'm just like,
yeah, you're like a little sex doll.
I'm a 5'8" white dude in a little crowd. So yeah.
Yeah. But I got DM'd by someone who was like, I met Nick at Lost Lands. Tell him. Well, now I'm embarrassed.
Oh no, I remember meeting people. I was just like,
well, he said like, oh, fuck, I don't have my phone on me, but he was, he said something to the equivalent of like, tell him I said hi, and I was like, bitch, you met him.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, just like thanks for the communication through you. Yeah, I got chased down the other night by a bouncer while I was leaving a bar. Wow. And he was like, me and my buddy were leaving the bar. We were just there, like playing trivia, hanging out, drinking beers.
He ran after you to kick you into the bar.
Yeah, and he was like, hey. And I was like,
yeah.
And I just like fucking got triggered. And he's like, love your podcast. And I was like, oh God, fucking don't run at me. Don't run him. It's like, I got it. It's like, I thought like, you finally caught on to me. I was like, it was like a super nice guy though.
Guy comes sprinting at you. He's like, hey, you turn around, just stick him in the ribs, like with a little knife. Tiny little knife.
He's like, tell Danny I say hello. I was like, okay, bye.
I would love you carried around like a comically small knife. That's my warning knife. Like a Mihawk that he first fights Zoro with, this tiny little thing.
Did you?
Yeah.
Not even bleeding.
that almost went through my shirt.
Why is it dull as well?
Yeah.
But yes, so me and Danny are back together. We're doing a double episode today. Not like you won't see a double episode, but after this, we're going to film our girlfriend special.
We're doing a double episode like there's two of us.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two people here. Sarah and Dorothy are downstairs hanging out. They're working and all that. But this is Otakus Anonymous. I'm NCHammer23, also known as the Weeb Commander. Unless you've unfollowed me recently for thumbnail shenanigans, which weren't my fault, mind you.
Or because Nick stabbed you in the wild.
Or because you got fucking shivved. But yes, and then I'm joined by my favorite person on earth.
Danny Motta, also known as DMotta3 on TikTok. If you're an angry Mortal Kombat fan, that's probably where you know me from.
Oh, yeah, they're on your ass.
They are on my ass.
They're
they hate
on
me.
Your ass.
Someone must have leaked that I hate being called a yapper because it's like the intensity has quadrupled.
I couldn't be further from you on this take. Love being a yapper.
I hate it.
There's a guy on TikTok. There was this guy with like a really nice beard. He's like called the Professor or something. And he's the one who like exposed Tall Knight. He was like, burying him. And he just does this thing where he's like, nobody's a better yapper than me. And then he just talks about yapping for 10 minutes. And it's just like, he did one where he sped it up 6 times because you only post a 10-minute video on TikTok. 6 times sped up yapping, just talked for an hour.
Wow.
And that was it. And everyone was like, I can't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud. He just sat in front of the camera and yapped for an hour. And I'm a certified yapper.
Yeah.
But yapping pays money.
It does. Well, that's the thing. Anytime I complain about Mortal Kombat, that's the only one that gets views.
Exactly.
And so then everyone's like, all this guy does is complain. And it's because all people see are the complaints.
That's the funniest, because people are like, oh my God, you should talk about First Descendants. And it's like, I fucking did. I did. It did 2,000 views.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Like, people are like, oh, why didn't you respond to this? Why didn't you say that? Why are you talking about this? I was like, you missed it. You don't see all my content.
I yap. I be out here yapping, my guy.
Yeah. And it's like, Cody's always yelling at me. He's like, why are you making 35-minute videos like 3 times a week? And I'm like, CPM, baby. CPM. People love fucking those video journals. The people that do like 4-hour video long essays.
Yeah.
Those, I can't even imagine how much money they make. Like 7 million views on a 4-hour video. People don't understand. Like,
insane.
So much money.
I love those though.
They're so good.
I love longer videos because I'll just like toss on a video game and a video like to the side to listen to.
Yeah.
And then just I have content for the next like 4 hours I'm playing.
That's what people don't realize. So the longer a video is, the more ads you get in it.
Yeah.
On like a half an hour video, my CPM is like $14, $15. And on like a,
That's crazy.
you don't post 15-minute video. You don't post,
I post 20? like 20-minute videos.
Yeah. So like 35 to 45 minutes is like $15.
Yeah.
But like less than 20, it's like 9.
Yeah.
So like up to 4 hours.
And what's CPM? Explain.
The cost per mile. It's the amount of money that you make per 1,000 views as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So if a video that's 45 minutes long does 100,000 views for me, I make $1,400-ish, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I make like mine's like 7.
Yeah.
Mine's like 7 or 8.
That's better than our friends who are sketch comedies. Like they do like 2-minute, 3-minute videos.
Yeah.
It's like $1, $2.
Oh damn, that's tough.
Because it's really short. You can't even put an ad in the middle of like a 3-minute video.
Right,
so it's the opening. It's that's all they get.
Yeah.
Those 4-hour videos, absolutely insane.
But no, I hate the only reason I hate Yapper is because like any insult that is like unspecific to me personally and or short, the shorter the insult, the harder I'll take it.
You love a specific an aimed assault.
Like when people were like, yo, this dude's arm hair is disgusting. That didn't get to me, but I was like, valid, fair. Like I took that as constructive criticism. Whereas if someone just writes L take on my video, I'm furious. I'm livid because it's not even like a counter argument. That's my thing. Is that like people are mad. They're mad at my arguments.
Yeah.
So if you come in with a counter argument, that's fun. And that's like, I understand. Like, even if I disagree with your counter argument and you're calling me a dumbass in it, that's okay. But if you're just like L take, I get so frustrated because I'm like, fucking prove it, coward.
Yeah. I saw probably, I hate to do this. I saw probably my favorite insult of you of all time.
Oh, yeah?
This was by, it's a gibberish name, but this was on YouTube, and it says, Danny looks like he anamorphs into a ferret.
I did see that.
That's fucking...
That's so accurate. It hurts. Ouch. But boy, is he right.
That's fucking so good.
That's good. Look, I'm sufficiently hurt, so you win, but you've used like fact-based evidence. like fair.
Can't sit here and argue with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I look like made a transformation into a ferret.
You're the second evolution.
Yeah.
Your third is skunk tank. Like that is you.
It's something about like my nose to lip ratio. It's just like I have like a ferret snout. Anyway, go on.
That's so fucking
Move on,
funny.
please.
Okay. I have big-ish news. Have you seen this Dragon Ball Magic thing that got announced?
No.
You
Magic
haven't?
the Gathering is doing crossover with Dragon? Oh.
You wish.
Yeah, kinda.
So Dragon Ball Magic is this new anime that they're releasing as opposed to DBS2.
Yeah,
because there's a full manga that we could be like converting into anime right now.
Wait, what is this? Is this like a chibi like fucking spin-off thing?
More or less. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it's
I hate when they do that.
It's already getting canceled within 24 hours. Yeah. It's just like people just don't want it. But it's basically, I think it's a web anime. And it's about Kid Goku. And it's like a Kid Goku story based in it's like 2023 animation. Yeah. So here, let me see.
I would hope so. It'd be weird if they're like, yeah, Kid Goku, 1973 animation.
Yeah, so look, it's like Kid Goku running around with like the Supreme whatever, like what's his name?
Supreme Kai.
Yeah, Supreme Kai.
You're so close.
And it's so weird because Dragon Ball, obviously, after the Tournament of Power, the anime ends, right?
Yeah.
Super. And so everyone's like, would love to see the rest of this manga be adapted, or possibly adapt the fan manga, or just do something. But people are like, have you just thought about if we went back to the 80s anime when Goku was a child?
Dragon Ball has just never understood what makes Dragon Ball good.
Yeah.
Since like Z.
People are just like, Toriyama is allergic to money.
Yeah.
Like somehow.
He just like doesn't get what makes Dragon Ball good. And I think that's so reasonable and fair to say because even Dragon Ball Z was made better because his editors kept being like, hey, this is lame. Like there are so many instances, I'm sure you know, like in like...
I do not know.
You do not know?
No, I don't.
Oh, do you not know? It's so funny that Dragon Ball is your one
That's
hole.
my blank. That's my hole.
Your black
that
hole.
and Berserk.
So Dragon Ball, like specifically with the Android and Cell saga, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it is with like the Boo or Frieza saga, but the Android saga was constantly just Toriyama's editor being like, this is really lame. So like originally 17 and 18 were the main antagonists of the whole Cell Android saga.
Oh God.
And then they were like, oh, this sucks. This is he was like, these aren't the real antagonists, are they? And he was like, well, I got this big bug monster. Actually, you're gonna love him.
Because Cell does kind of come out of nowhere.
He does come out of nowhere, 100%. And then he shows up, big bug monster. And then the editor's like, well, he's gonna do like multiple forms, like Frieza, right? Like this isn't his final form. And he's like, totally. Yeah,
it's just erasing through like 7 chapters.
But like, just like holds it up, rips it all, like totally.
Yeah, no, his head will get longer. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do.
So then he does Cell's second form, and he's like, cool, boom, big power up. And then the editor's like, this looks dumb. This isn't his final form.
Like fucking stupid face mask, and everyone, his second form is so stupid.
It's really weird. I don't like the lips. It's all strange.
Oh, his lips do get big.
He's got big lips. And so the editor's like, well, this looks stupid. This isn't his final form, is it? And like allegedly, he keeps framing it like that. Like he keeps being like, this isn't this, is it? And then Toriyama goes, no.
like just like trying to play off being incredibly hurt. It's like, I hate it too.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody's like, you like show somebody something you're proud of, and they're like, oh, you're like, but we're not done. We're not, like obviously there's like many more hours that we need to do. You're like slowly like trying to replan everything you made.
I showed somebody like one of my first short films, which was about like PTSD after wars and stuff like that.
There was something you were very tapped into.
It was like, exactly. Something I could only tell.
Like waking up from every MK video you posted. I thought I heard finish it.
Yeah, but like, so I once like showed someone the first ever short film I made that I was like taking seriously. Like 2 minutes into this 5-minute long video, the person's like, this is supposed to be a comedy, right? And I was like, yeah.
Punchlines are great, right?
Yeah, I was like, it's funny, isn't it?
It's like a gripping scene of a veteran, like in the rain, like trying to pull a 1911 away from his temple, and he's like cracking up, and you're like, perfect.
Yeah, that joke tested well.
Everybody loved it. Like all races, big fan of that one. That's so fun.
But no, like all Dragon Ball is like, or all of Dragon Ball Z is like that. Just Toriyama like bumbling his way through like a very good manga.
Yeah, I feel like we ran into the situation today where you were like, I made these merch shirts, and I was like,
really mean.
Me and Dorothy were like,
I thought they looked good.
They so this is welcome to me and Daniel's marriage counseling. So Danny, first off, I want to say I appreciate you putting in the work. I want to say you're seen, you're heard. So Danny made a bunch of merch shirts, and
you're seen, you're heard, but shut up and go away.
Yeah, listen, your problems are irrelevant, and I hate you. Yeah. Listen, if it weren't for the kids, we would have been divorced 6 years ago. So this is not going to sell well, as Nick is currently wearing a front merch shirt. But this is because I like the graphic on this a lot, and also,
you know what graphic people would really like
this
a lot?
This is fucking metal. Okay, this
and
is Corpse House. This is my tattoo artist. They're chibi. They're not metal at all. But me and Danny got a bunch of stickers made, and we'll probably Stank, throw them up on the screen right now. Thank you very much.
They're on our merch store.
They're on our merch store.
Fourth wall, Otakus Anonymous.
Just otakusanonymous.net, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a URL.
Gotcha.
But otakusanonymous.net. And Danny wants to find a way to convert them into t-shirts. But the problem is that they're sticker sized. So if you blow them up real big, they get real fuzzy, which is a problem. So Danny has taken these stickers, which, they're about roughly this big.
Don't act like the quality is your problem with them, because we can get higher quality versions.
Maybe. And we've and Danny's basically taken them and blown them up to like
the size of a male chest.
Like a big male chest. But the problem is the stickers go up to basically like your neck. Like it's like all the way up. So let me act this out. Let me get closer. Let me get closer. So imagine I'm a well-endowed titty man, right? As you know, I do well for myself. But the graphic starts about here, like right at that last rib, right? But you wanna work your way all the way, so it's only like really your tits, and that's just our face.
can you pull it up on your phone, show a camera?
I mean, we could also Stank,
Yeah,
beauty of editing.
Yeah, I'll
also
show
has
it to
access
Stank,
to the fourth wall. But I'm not a big front graphic guy.
Clearly.
I'm not okay, like I said, bad day to pitch this idea, but I'm not a big I like a little Otakus Anonymous on like over the left crest, and then give me the graphic on the back. I just think it's a cleaner look. It's like, hey, look, big faces on the back, and then like a clean front look. It's very hard for me to pair a graphic tee with any kind of layer whatsoever. Like, oh, you like throw on a graphic tee and then put on a jacket over it, so like our faces are just slightly peeping out from under it.
And then people are like, "What's that shirt?" And you have a reason to peel off the jacket. If I'm buying merch. I want it to be substantial. Like, I would never buy if it's just like a little Otakus Anonymous like logo on the breast, and then that's it. Like, I want.
But we have the front, we have the back graphic as well.
But so if I put us on the entire back, is that okay?
Yeah,
we'll see. But
that's
also,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, we'll do that. But I also I don't like back graphics. Because I'm buying the shirt for me, not for other people. I want to look down and see my graphic. I want to see my shirt I bought.
But it just doesn't, for me,
it's like buying a skin in a first-person game. It's like, who is this skin for, if not for me? Like, I can't even see my fucking skin. This sucks.
I think that's why knives are thousands of dollars in CSGO.
Exactly.
But, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But I've never once been like, oh, I need to see my own. I don't dress to look at myself. I dress so other people are like, I just that's what I want. I want people to be like, oh, nice outfit. I want to dress well for people, but I'm also a very I do minimal. I've grown out of very graphic tees.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I think that's why I think it's interesting that we're talking about this now, because I'm kicking it to the crowd.
Yeah.
Here.
Let us know because really, who cares if not the people buying them?
Exactly.
Who cares which we say?
Yeah.
Let us know if you want the graphics on the front or on the back, and I will send Stank some images to do a poll.
We could also just do both. That's a very much a possibility is that hey, we have making a t-shirt, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's literally so quick, it's insane.
We'll see how it turns out too, because on the website, they're
it says low quality. Yeah.
It says that, but it looks not the worst. In the image, I have 2 coming that I can't cancel. I can return if they're bad though.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. I have some they're not out yet, but I have some samples coming that'll check it out. But the hats, fresh. They look sick.
Those are good.
Little Alphonse and Ed, us on the front, and then little OA on the back.
I'm just curious about how they'll stitch, because sometimes it doesn't stitch super well, but very curious.
Yeah.
We'll see. Outside of that, obviously biggest news of the week, because we filmed before JJK's episode, so we're kind of late to it now. And then JJK's new episode comes out in 2 days, so it's going to be we're kind of in between. But we're kind of in between a lot of episodes here. But we just got to Kojo's ceiling.
Yeah, probably the best episode.
Really good.
I was sitting in my chair, flabbergasted, being so many thoughts. Because I'm so bitter at heart. Okay. That even my positive thoughts are bitter. Yeah. One thought, I was like, fuck, this is so good. The episode's going to end any minute now. I was annoyed this episode wasn't going to be 4 hours long. Yeah. Because I fucking loved it.
It was so good.
And the other thought was, I was like, we'll never have anime this good again. I was so...
God, that's me on week 16 of football. I'm I'm so happy that there's good games going on and it's all important. Then I'm we're 1 week closer to anime. Just football being gone.
Yeah. It's just because I know the next time an even okay anime comes out, I'm going to be this is the best new anime, because that seems to be the trend with every season.
It has to be.
They've all just been incredible.
A perpetual cycle of hype until eventually all of our serotonin levels are maxed out. And then we're just everything sucks now.
And then we have to be on DMT to enjoy an anime.
Nice. I don't remember what happened. I think I just talked to God. Oh my God, Gojo's being sealed? Yeah, that'd be wild.
But I was I don't know, because Chainsaw Man, and I want to compare the two.
Whose manga is going crazy right now.
That's hype.
Yeah.
I want to compare the two a little down the line. But even with Chainsaw Man, I wasn't this excited week to week. Yeah. And we get 23 episodes of this shit. Yeah. That's so, or one.
We're not.
21 or 23?
All I know is we're not close to the end.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of this season. Yeah. And I'm just every week, I'm what a treat. What did you think?
Like Gojo. Oh, so first off, I think it's the first episode we've seen since Hidden Inventory where I felt the director.
Yeah.
Like that was like, because last week's episode was like, it was just a big fight between Yuji and the dick demon.
I like blocked all that out. You're right. That sucked.
Yeah. But this episode, like it was so, there was so many scenes where I was like, this is the director's influence and it's doing the correct thing.
Yeah.
Like there was like, even the very beginning of the episode, like that veneer, the veneer of everyone talking about Gojo, which was, first off, this entire episode is fucking brutal to manga readers. Yeah. Brutal. Like just everything going on in the manga right now, and then watching this episode, just fucking brutal for everybody who's up to date and all of that. So I'm gonna give you my live notes as I always do.
Yeah.
JJK's episode coming out when it did is so cruel to manga readers. Everyone gushing over Gojo. Feels like this is the first episode we've seen the director's influence. Opening with Gojo panting, covered in blood, holding a transfigured human's head. So sick.
Really cool, but also the opening you were talking about with the it looked like film, old film tape. They're like interviewing all the characters we know about like what they think of Gojo. The fucking tone of this season is so good.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that bit we like with the little like pork bun where it's just like with Tojo. With Toji, where it's like just like a chopstick and a little pork bun and then just slides, and that's all it takes to be unsettling.
Exactly.
This, at the end, there's a little montage of like, oh, but most of all, Gojo is the strongest. And everyone goes, strongest. And it's like, fuck me, what are you prepping me for?
Exactly.
Like, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
And then I think this episode showed just how batshit Gojo is when he latches onto Hanami's face and he's like, this is where you're weak from, and just pulls the horns out of her head and she's just screaming in pain. And then Jogo watching Hanami slowly get pressed against, because that's the thing, he's like, oh, if you keep trying to like amplify your domain, I have to use my infinity even harder. And it's just like, and I don't think your friend is going to be able to like keep up for that. And it's just Hanami getting pushed against the wall. They like, all pun intended, crushed her death. Yeah. Her death is wild in the manga because it's just one panel she's there and then one panel she's not.
Right.
And she's just a fucking abstract art on the side of the wall. And that was so good. And Jogo just being like, trying to use fire, and he's like trying to distract Gojo, and Gojo's being like literally not even registering him as a threat and just slowly but surely using a passive ability to destroy a special grade cursed spirit that has been plaguing everybody in the story since the beginning, and all he does is walk and then boom. So sick.
It was astounding. It was really, really intense. The
Gory.
effects, gory, the effects, the music, the sound effects.
So I think so the silence of, and so there's that, and then it's like obviously Jogo starts to run away.
Yeah.
And there's that scene that everyone's comparing to Sasuke walking down Danzo when like Gojo's just like, Jogo is throwing people at Gojo, and he's just like
just catching them.
Just like stopping them, and then he's like trying to, and he's just like walking like weird.
Yeah.
Because he's not walking like normally. It's not like a saunter, like his like usual saunter. He's walking very like upright, very uncomfortable, and Jogo's just trying to get away. And then there's the scene where Mahito comes into the station with all of the transfigured humans, and you just see a bunch of people, because here's the problem, is like people can't see the cursed spirits. And like that's kind of a thing that gets like lost in translation a little bit. It's like Gojo's getting in this battle, and he's like, all right, people who can't see cursed spirits are now trying to avoid me. So like the density of people around me is like lessening.
Which is cool.
For most of the people in that station, they have no idea what's going on.
People are just exploding and flying, and
that's
like
the thing.
Parts of the subway are breaking.
Yes, and people are like falling out of the ceilings and all that. And there's that scene where the guy with the afro is trying to help the girl who's freaking out on the train tracks. And he just gets his like fucking chest punched through. And people wouldn't be able to see that. They would just see a hole open up in a guy's chest, and he'd be like, and that'd be it.
How do you feel about, great sound effects, by the way, from you. How do you feel about people not being able to see the spirits?
It's wild.
I
love it.
It's okay.
Why?
It annoys me. It's an annoying trope to me.
Some people can, though.
Yeah. It's just a weird, it's a similar trope to when you have like a Sonic movie or a Barbie movie, and instead of like putting in the effort to make the whole film take place in Barbie or Sonic Land, it's like they're in LA now, and so it's like you don't have to actually world build anything. You just take the character and like toss them into our world and then hide them. It's similar because My Hero is cool, because the world building is so nuts. Everything has to be built around the fact that there are superheroes.
That heroes exist, yeah.
There is world building. The world building's good, but you don't have to do as much because you don't have to be like, well, how do insurance firms work when there's demons destroying everything? And how does this work when there's superpowers?
Chainsaw Man does a really good job of it because they're like 70% of deaths come from like demons. You see them, you live in fear of them.
Yeah.
Religions pop up, like either worshiping them or like trying to kill them, like these kinds of things. Like Chainsaw Man's doing a really good job with it right now. Like where they're building up the Chainsaw Man church and all of that. And like there's like real life world politics built into it. And like there's like the USA is the only people left trying to kill the control devil and things like that. Like world politics have built around the fact that demons kill 70% of us.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's interesting. I think there's mechanics in JJK that make the fact that like, because now they have to open veils. And I think Ghetto's entire character arc revolves around the fact that people can't see cursed spirits, right? Because he has to live in silence as a jujutsu sorcerer because people don't understand the world. And like when those two kids, the problem
that
is
they
like,
try and kill.
Yeah, they're like locked up because they can see the cursed spirits that are plaguing the village.
Right.
So everybody internalizes their fear towards them.
Yeah.
Because they're they're telling people about it. So I think like while it is kind of lazy because they're just in Shibuya.
And
it's
exactly,
like, now a bunch of people are just in Shibuya hanging out. Like I was like, if I knew special grade cursed spirits existed, you better fucking believe I would never be found in a group setting
in a
ever.
Halloween party.
Yeah. No thanks. Like, there's a tsunami coming towards Japan. I'm gonna go. Like I would go to Bali, go to the happiest place on earth. Like hey, where's like go to Finland. I don't know, the happiest country out there, and be like, hey, no cursed spirits here because nobody's fucking jumping off of roofs. You know, that's where I would be. So, but I think JJK does a really good job of being like, at least in Ghetto's case, of being like, this has consequences, and these are those consequences.
I like to, it works with this plan because if everyone in the subway is freaking out, you can't have a fight scene.
Exactly,
Like, it'd just be a mess. Everyone would be, like, all over the place. So it's cool that they're using the fact that people can't see it to their advantage. But also, people should be freaking out more because they are seeing a lot of things. People are flying and getting stuck midair.
Yeah.
The subway wall explodes.
Let's not forget that the way that all of them got into the subway in the first place was being sucked out of Shibuya Square 5 stories down. They're 5 stories underground, and they just got pulled. And there's
they're like, whoa, a train's coming.
I'd be like, I just fucking floated. What? Like, it's absolutely insane. But then everybody can see the transfigured human. So that's when shit gets, like, haywire. Because those are just humans who have, like, been turned into monsters. And I love that we're seeing, because, like, obviously Yuji isn't heavily involved in the story right now. He gets his time to shine later. But him seeing that girl being like, I was told the car was full, and then her face.
Literally die in front of her.
And he's like, Mahito's here. And, like, you're like, oh, my God, it's on. And Gojo's domain expansion scene. Did you like it? Did you understand it?
Yeah, I liked it. Have you ever seen Legoshi run?
Yes.
Gojo does a big Legoshi run.
It's kind of like it's a low.
He does a low, like, Ed, and Eddie kind of thing.
So the thing is, what they didn't really show is that entire time, he's not just running between people. He's snagging people's heads off.
Yeah, he's like slicing through them.
Yeah, so he's like cutting through people and then just like, snagging their heads.
No, I got it. Well, they explain it to you. He just like freezes time for a small
0.2 of a second.
Yeah, but then it goes, he cleared it all out in 299 seconds at the end.
Yes.
So that was confusing.
So he opens his domain expansion, which is Unlimited Void.
Yeah.
And the thing that Unlimited Void does is it pours all of the information of the universe into your head. And so in 0.2 of a second, it puts 6 months of information into everybody in that area's head.
Yeah.
So like after that, everybody's like brain is just like scrambled. Yeah. Like imagine if the next 6 months of your life and all that was going to happen in the entire universe was poured into your head.
0.2 of a second.
So every
1/5, idiot.
Yeah,
not you, the show.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, that is
what
also.
What the hell?
I think when I made a video explaining his domain expansion, I was like, I don't know why they said this either. I was like, it's 1/5.
Yeah.
But so every 1 second in Infinite Void, you get 2.5 years of all of the information of the universe, and so everybody. So it takes all the normal people there 2 months to recover, and it takes Mahito like 300 seconds to recover because you see him snap out of it.
Do they end smarter?
I don't, because you couldn't, there would never be any, there's no way to like compartmentalize all that information.
Got you.
Like,
But
what would you learn, right?
Well, also, it's like 2 years worth of all the universe's knowledge, right?
Yes.
Which years?
I think
Right? Because what do you mean 2 years of all the knowledge?
that's a good, genuinely good, never thought of that.
It's just a bunch of nonsense words they're using. 2/10, 2 years worth of knowledge.
That is very fair. Well, they never say, like, they just say 6 months and 2/10. I just extrapolated,
Well,
yeah.
But I just mean, like, if it's all the universe's knowledge,
Yeah.
assumedly you're, like, from this point previous or forward. But if you're, like, forward, then it's like, what does 2 years mean? Which 2 years? Now and then 2 years from now?
Yeah,
like,
right?
and everything in between?
Yeah, I feel like this is a very good example of Tommy just sometimes being like,
Just saying shit?
just like for real.
Just yapping?
He for real is the OG yapper.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, I just make up shit and like hopefully it fits in the power system. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's good. That's what you want from a mangaka. You want to be like, hey, half the time I have no idea what I'm talking about
Yeah.
either. And it's just like up to us to be like, all right, it ties into this power. Because like that's what we have to do is like people who
That's what you have to do. I don't know what we is.
Yeah, exactly. The PhDs
Yeah.
and this motherfucking shit have to be like, all right, this makes sense because of his curse energy having his innate technique while domain amplifying, and like also there's positive energy and it's multiplying, and now we're getting negative. It's like it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So this is just what we do. But yeah, so everybody gets catatonic, so he has like 300
right.
seconds to destroy all the transfigured humans.
And he does.
And he does.
With his big Legoshi run.
My favorite scene out of all of it was the Mahjong scene.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So they're all like, I just love when we cut to the cursed spirits and they're either just like running around on a play, like they're running out on the playground, or they're like in what's the Horizon is Captivating Skanda. I remember the domain expansion name. I don't remember the fish cursed spirit's name.
Oh, the big cuttlefish?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
That thing is so funny. The big cuddle babushka.
It actually has some really dope scenes coming up that I'm very excited for. Yeah, it gets a really big role later on.
It's just a big octopus babushka.
Exactly.
An octobabushka.
It is, but it has a domain expansion.
Yeah,
It's like a
that's
private
hype.
island where they just like hang out and play like soccer with Jogo's head, right? There's all these like juxtaposed, like these are like the most demonic things you've ever met, and they just hang out and chill.
Yeah.
But that scene where they're all playing Mahjong, and it's just like, I have no idea how Mahjong works. Like, I don't,
me neither.
I've never learned it. I know it's like Chinese dominoes, but there's this scene where like, obviously we now know it's no longer Ghetto. That's revealed this episode, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But like Pseudo Ghetto is like telling them, I need you to keep him within 4 meters of the prison realm for a minute. And there's just like 30 seconds of silence.
Yeah.
No back. And this is what the director does really good. I think he uses silence and then chaotic music really well to either build tension or like make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And during this Mahjong scene, it's just like Pseudo Ghetto's like, all right, I need you to keep him still for a minute. And then everybody just plays their turn. And it's just like everybody goes around. And then like Jogo
And then
just
Jogo
stands up to the table. He's like, I will die.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and it's explained at the end how the prison realm is going to work and all of that. But that scene, so good.
Jogo looks fucking ginormous when he does that
Mm-hmm.
too. Like, he looks great. Every time Jogo is in a scene, I want to watch Fire Force so bad.
Interesting. He
makes
would be a really good Infernal.
He makes me want to watch Fire Force because he's like same color scheme, same powers ish. But yeah, that like the director does use silence really well, which is not often used in anime or animation, because if you have a still moment in animation, you run the risk of it just being a still image.
Yeah.
Because then it's just a drawing. Then it's just a single drawing.
And people are just like, we're just saving on animation.
Yeah. But
Naruto and Boruto do it all the time.
I know.
Where it's just like,
yeah.
and it's like 20 seconds of somebody else talking elsewhere, and you just get an image of their face reacting to it.
We had a brief instance, a brief throwback, if you will, to the days where a crowd running would just be a still image, like dragged down the screen and shaken a bit. That happened like very briefly, and I commend this show for not using a bunch of CGI people instead.
I didn't even realize.
It was like a classic Attack on Titan, like just speed lines going down the page.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like it's one image, and
they just shake it.
Yeah, they just shake the fucking shit. I know, and you're right. Attack on Titan does do that all the time. It's like anytime like a wall breaks down, it's like image of everybody running and just shakes.
Yeah,
that's so funny. I'd never realized that's what they do.
Speaking of what's it called? Like the scene of him like shredding everyone, his domain expansion. I have some notes. Right here.
Okay,
I remember them. So this episode gorgeous.
Yeah.
Awesome, stunning animation. Like, no ghosting. No ghosting at all.
Especially during the scene when he's running through the crowd and like, this is the time you would ghost,
Yeah,
you know?
they just dim it. Like, they do the dimming, which I requested and I love. I emailed them specifically.
Yeah, thank God.
You.
The ghosts got out of their iPads.
Yeah, and and I will, like, you know, to their credit and like to my embarrassment, I will admit my brain wanted to seize so goddamn bad this episode. There were a few instances where like a sequence would happen. Like, I don't think it was when he was running. I think maybe it was when he was pressing Hanami into the wall and then it ended.
Because that was so many. It's just like his domain flashing.
Yeah. That bit ended and I was like lightheaded. And I was like, ooh, my brain did not like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Me neither.
I'm like fully immune to seizures.
Yeah.
Like I go to like raves, like, and it's just like, here's lasers. Okay, here's loud noises. And I'm like, I'm immune to seizures. I've trained my brain to be like, give me your best, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I forget the specific scenes, but I just, in my notes, I wrote like, I have never wanted to seize harder.
This is it. This is my seizing moment.
This is happening.
Oh my God, Danny.
The irony.
Danny, I've never prayed for your demise, but holy fuck, if you're like the reason we get Pokemon Part 2, like we need more ghosting and dimming, Danny fucking died.
I'm the first to die.
Oh my God, they'd have to play the clip at your funeral. It'd be so fucking funny. Danny, we always say we have to commit to the bit.
Yeah.
I need you to have a seizure badly.
I'd be like the next The Ring girl. I'd be like the next Samara.
That would be so funny.
That'd be awful.
The ghost of Daniel Motta comes out every single time. They're like, guys, we can't kill another reaction YouTuber. We're losing our best ones.
I know. If that happened, in my will, I'm going to make this edit when I go home right now.
Yeah.
In my will, if my death is ever recorded.
Yeah.
I want people to react to it.
And here we see Danny watching the. Oh my God! If it was done while you were filming a video, you're just like, this fight is.
It's just like, and then
it's 4 hours of dead air.
And then it just at the last 10 seconds is Sarah being like, "Hey, do you have that water?" Danny? I'm just
like the camera rolls through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. This episode's really good, but I think it's what killed him.
I just want XQC to like react to it, and he's just like, all right, today's death is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
This one's sponsored by the Japanese animation studio.
Yeah.
What?
You know what'd be even funnier is if the video I die in is sponsored by Raid Shadow.
That would be fucking. Today, guys, we have a big, and there's like, it's like and because you don't do the extra shout out at the end, they're like, we actually can't pay for you. We're gonna need you to re-record. you didn't do the outro sponsor. Yeah. The amount of times. Oh my God, that'd be so funny. I actually like if I ever die in a stupid way, my number one thing is don't use me as a statistic. Like that's my biggest thing. I don't want to be used as like I would never do this. Okay, I want a little caveat here. But let's say hypothetically.
We're already in dicey territory.
Let's say hypothetically Nick gets real messed up one night and gets behind the wheel and then he dies in a car accident. My number one thing is I don't want people to be like, Nick died doing this. This should be a lesson that that's my like.
You don't want your death to mean something?
I do not want my death to be a lesson.
Why?
That's my one thing. Do not let.
Why?
I don't know why. I just don't want my death to be a lesson. Like I want people to be like, ha, idiot, and that's it. Like that's all I want.
But what's the like? What it makes you cringe? Like
something.
Is it a rebellious
something
thing?
about people being like, learn from his death pisses me off. Don't learn from my death. Like die my way. Like die the way I died.
That's
you know.
So funny.
I don't know why.
Die the way I died.
Followed me. Like follow my trail. Like do something.
Yeah.
I for some reason in my brain I'm like I don't want people at my funeral to be like, I'm putting down the needle because of him. Like, I don't want that.
That's so funny. And that means what you want is like in celebration of your life, you want like if you die doing heroin, you want people to do one last
to pour some out into your veins for me. My funeral, if it's a DUI, we're just gonna have like 40 miles out of the city, open bar, no Ubers. Get home of your own free will. That's me. Yeah, sorry.
Nick nudged the dog bed like under the table and it touched my foot. And for a second I was like, this fucker touched my foot under the table.
Could you imagine?
And then I realized we're like a mile apart.
If my legs were this long, I'd be so happy. I'd be way less funny though.
You just like, I look up and you're like this.
Just get over here, you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you something. So did you like the ghetto reveal of the brain. How'd you feel about that?
It looked silly as hell.
Uh-huh.
And also, I like it because the whole time I'm like, man, present day ghetto is so different from past ghetto.
Yeah.
Like I don't buy the transformation. Like I was like, they didn't give me enough in the flashback to make me buy this is still ghetto.
Yeah.
And it's not. So that
it's not.
fixes that.
No,
wrong.
it's very much, it's a different guy. He's
So OG ghetto is dead.
dead. Fully
Wow.
dead. Been dead the whole time. Since
So
Gojo
weird.
kills him in chapter 0, he's dead.
Yeah. I like he kills him in the movie?
Yeah.
I like don't even remember. How does he die?
Yuta died. So Yuta and him fight. Yuta beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then he like gets up and Gojo kills him.
That's so weird then. That's so weird. I like want to watch 0 again to be like, okay, does this Gojo or does this Ghetto?
There you go.
God, does this Ghetto?
Gojo, Jogo,
Yeah.
Toji, Togo,
I was gonna say Toko is a joke. Is there a Toko?
Todo,
Todo. Terrible.
Yuki.
I hate this mangaka.
It's a lot. It's a lot of 4-letter words.
I want to go and watch 0 again and be like, one, this is the perviest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, disgusting.
Two, is like, does this Ghetto match past Ghetto more? Like, do I buy this transition?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because Ghetto prior to his death is much more committed to so the brain's name is Kenjaku, and so Kenjaku kind of like absorbs the ideologies of Ghetto, and like he's more trying to recreate the golden age of jujitsu, and that's sort of tangentially what Ghetto wanted. Jujitsu.
The fighting style?
What do you think the show's called?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujitsu.
No, it's not.
Jujitsu.
No.
That's just jujitsu.
No.
Jujutsu.
Yes.
I refuse.
Jujitsu
Is the fighting style.
Yes.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Look it up. Look how it's spelled.
No. I know it's jujutsu. I'm just trying. Do I usually say jujitsu?
I don't think you've ever done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it might be because my voice is gone. Jujutsu. It feels wrong in my voice.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Not jujitsu.
It's just hard to enunciate currently. But yeah, I don't know.
But you fought me, so you clearly thought it was jujitsu. Yeah. You fought me.
I think I just said it quick.
But then you were like, no, it's not jujutsu.
No, I know it's jujutsu.
But like seconds ago, you were like, no, it isn't.
No, I'm just kind of going through an existential crisis right now because I don't know if I've been saying jujitsu the entire time or jujutsu. Jujutsu hurts in my mouth. It's like too of an open mouthfeel. But okay, regardless. Okay. Kenjaku's, it was oddly pink. That was my thing. The brain is oddly pink. His face is too
That's your problem? He has a little mouth.
Oh, brain has
a little mouth.
That's because that's the entire body.
That's silly.
That's his entire body. He has to move his brain into different bodies.
It looks like a sticker slapped onto the brain.
It does kind of. This is it in the manga. Do you like that more than you liked it in the anime?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Because. Oh, go on.
Oh, no. So there's more. Yeah. So there's that. So people are kind of like, there's a descending level right now. So there's the anime, which looks fine-ish. It's very light. It's very like super pink. The manga looks pretty good. And then there's a fan art that people love. Like, there's their number one. Like, everyone's like, I wish it looked like this. That's the fan art. Isn't that sick? You don't like this?
I don't like his face because it just doesn't look like Ghetto.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's supposed to be a reveal that it's not Ghetto. Like, it's like a demonic.
It looks too Attack on Titan to me.
I would say if anything, it looks like Bleach, but yes.
It looks like the thing that eats Aaron's mom.
Oh, she does look like the type that eats Aaron's mom. Absolutely.
I just don't like that it's like so off model. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's very My Hero, because My Hero does that.
We're just like super hyper close.
Yeah. Like, it reminds me of like Flapjack. Did you ever watch Flapjack?
Yes, I watched Flapjack.
It's like that. Like, I don't.
Flapjack walked so Chowder could run.
Yeah.
I just want to say it's important. It's important for me to put out there. Yeah.
It's like that where it's like when it cuts into a hyper realistic close up.
So uncomfortable. It was just like a bunch of pimples on their face and all of that.
Yeah.
They were like, Flapjack, do that thing again. And like cuts into him, like burps or something. Because there was Flapjack and then there was the other one. What was the other guy's name?
Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yeah.
And it would like cut in and it would be like super like, and there's like all the sailors that were just like had scurvy and all of that.
It's just a gross show.
Why were we raised on so many like uncomfortably like terrifying shows?
Yeah, like Courage.
Courage the Cowardly Cowardly Dog would do the same thing, where it'd be like, oh, here's like a really uncomfortably realistic like demon, and you're like, what? Why are we doing? It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Why are we doing jump scares in my Saturday morning cartoons?
Why are we trying to scare kids? That was my thing. Why are we scaring children? Remember the Curse of the Pharaoh?
I know
episode?
you've talked about this on this pod.
I would switch to SpongeBob or something else whenever it was on. It's like I'm terrified.
That's so funny. I liked being scared. I like the scary shit.
I
as
like
a kid.
scary shit now.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it when I was 8.
Yeah, fair.
Like,
Absolutely fair.
What fucked up adult is like, man, I want to make this fun enough for kids to watch, but also scary enough that they don't fucking sleep tonight. Like, I was like, okay.
Just hates kids.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a good, like, if you hate kids, get into animation. Get right in their fucking psyche.
I guess. I mean, like, you could say the same thing about, like, Spirited Away. Like, oh, this is, like, aimed at kids, but it's also, like, incredibly, like, bone-chilling at
It was
points.
a little intense, for sure. But I like, that's, like, that image of ghetto. Yeah, ghetto.
There you go.
Too edgy for me. Like,
JJK's super non-edgy. It's, like, a very consistent art style the entire time.
it looks like it looks like one of those like New Jersey boardwalk shirts where you see like Bugs Bunny on a throne with like a gat in his hand and a bunch of chains.
I love them so much. SpongeBob, the SpongeBob Xbox profile picture from back in the day, where he's wearing a money suit. Those are my favorite things.
It's like a Chronic the Hemp Hog level like
Naruto dripped out Supreme and like a mall t-shirt.
That's the energy I get from that fan drawing. It's like, relax, kid.
Yeah, calm down a little bit here. It's not that serious.
I like the way he pulls the head off.
Yeah.
Like, that's cooler. Like, everything about it other than the face being, like,
my thing, though,
creepy.
both Kenjaku and Geto are very, like, silly, goofy boys. Like, that's their whole thing, you know? Because, like, they like, go around, play mahjong, blow bubbles, those kinds of things. So him pulling off his head and, like, smiling is, like, kind of cute. And then it's like a little brain with a mouth right there. Yeah, you're going to learn a lot more about Kenjaku in the upcoming months here, which I'm very excited about. But I'm so happy I don't have to say pseudo-Geto anymore. Tiptoe around the fact that it's not Geto.
I don't think you've ever said pseudo ghetto before.
Really?
Yeah, thankfully, because that'd be such an unbelievable.
It's a big time
spoiler.
But that's like what they call. That's like his name. It's like pseudo ghetto up until this point. But okay, that's basically all I had on JJK.
I think that's all I had to. Yeah.
So did you see Zom 100 episode 9?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
I did not have time.
So Treehouse of the Dead. We just talked about Zom 100. This is technically my flashback. So this is kind of me, like, whenever we get the flashback.
We'll weave it in.
This is my note, but Zom 100, episode 9 came out. They finally make it to Akira's parents' house. You know, there's like a bad version of Akira. It's really funny. There's like a guy who like smokes, and he's also made a list, but it's like 100 things that I want to do, like that I couldn't. Like he was like rejected by society. That was his thing. He's like 100 things I want to do, and it's like slap my bitch wife, and it's like I was like try out drugs, and they're like kill a dude, and it's like a bunch of other things. It's like edgy Akira, but he ended up in the village as well.
Yeah, I love that.
And well, the episode itself was good. You know, it's Akira like trying to figure out a way. It's like a gripping story of him trying to figure out a way to pay back his parents for like putting him through college. It was cute and all that.
Oh boy.
Bigger news from this episode that you can absolutely talk about with me because you haven't seen the episode.
We talk about it every goddamn week.
Yeah. But this one is the worst one thus far because there's no more schedule for it. Zom 100 is now on indefinite hiatus.
What happened? What is going on? They're like, make a fucking show before you put a show out.
That's my thing.
We were talking about, too, in the group chat about how, like, they hardly even had a trailer by Anime Expo.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
In English, yeah.
Yeah. They had nothing. They didn't even show us the full first episode, which led me to believe it wasn't done.
Yeah.
Like, at AX, we saw the first 11 minutes of the first episode.
Yeah, they were like, we've been working super hard. We've been working super hard, but we couldn't get all like. They're like, here's what we have. Like, here's what we're gonna give you. So they gave us like, the first 11 minutes, and we're all like, we were promised the first episode. What's going on here? This is weird. And this has to be in the history of anime one of the biggest flops I've ever seen because it's interesting. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's good. And Viz, mind you, that's who's footing the bill on all of this. One of the biggest companies in anime and manga in existence. Viz, fumbling the bag here.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't get it. I like don't get why we're like setting hard release schedules. Like if the shit's not finished, push the release. Nobody,
next season, there's nothing coming out next season. You wouldn't be running up against JJK.
Yeah, true.
Fucking put it out then.
I know. It's so weird. I just don't get it. And and now it's like the Attack on Titan syndrome, where now when it comes back, it's like, okay,
don't give a shit.
Whatever. Yeah. There's no momentum.
Episode 10 of Zom 100 is out 6 weeks from now.
Yeah. Sick. Episode 10's out. Can't wait for the next 2 episodes, and then it's done for the season, probably.
Exactly. That's like there's 3 more episodes left. And I don't know if they're just gonna hey, well, it'll be back when we have all 3 done. It'll be back when we have 1 done. Because the thing is, all of the episodes look good. It's like, obviously they're not cutting time here. Like, everything looks good. Like, the fights are still really cool. The animation, like, style is all there. The storytelling, the acting is all great. Like, awesome. I don't understand. Like, even if like we assume it takes way longer than a week to do an episode, right? We're not doing this week by week. How was this not a problem at the beginning? How were you not like, hey, we just barely got episode 1 out.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna get to episode 9. You know, and that's my thing. Is like, I don't know who's animating it. It's not Viz.
I don't know.
Obviously.
Is it A1 or is it Bones? I think it's Bones.
Is it Bones?
Because it looks a lot like My Hero.
Who is animating?
Maybe that's why My Hero season 6 didn't look great.
Bug Films, an anime television series adaptation produced by Bug Films, premiered in 20. It's licensed by Viz.
Bug Films.
Bug Films. Yeah, no, the company that has 21 employees as of 2022.
Do it.
Yeah, I think that's where we run into the issue, because I don't
hire any more people.
22 people is not like, listen, once again, for the 1 million time, what the fuck do we know about animating? But I'll tell you right now, more than 22 people, probably. Yeah. I wouldn't trust 22 people to make a regular 1-season television show.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, we need lighting, we need a director, we need camera people.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you could do it on a shoestring budget, but if you're trying to make this like Viz brought us to Anime Expo, the biggest anime convention outside of Japan.
Yeah.
To promote this one fucking anime.
Yeah. They had a big shark statue.
They had a shark statue. They had booths. They had panels. There was, you know what we should have known? There was an after party for Zom 100 Friday night. Got canceled.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, hey, come to the panel and then come to the after party.
Yeah.
It's gonna be this big thing to promote Zom 100.
Whoa.
Got canceled, and I was like, why?
Yeah, why?
I was like,
so weird.
I was like, I feel like you've already done the legwork. You invited the influencers. We're here, like we're promoting.
The actors are there.
Yeah,
but it's also crazy. The actors hadn't done a single episode yet, and the show came out a month later.
Not even days.
Yeah,
days later.
Yeah, true.
Which meant that the first dub episode is gonna come out 2 weeks later.
Came out like a month later.
Yeah, which is like insane. Like so, like it's one of the biggest fumbles I've ever seen. Not because it's not good; it's very good, but like so much money was put into it.
Yeah,
this is a big manga. It's like a manga that a lot of people love. Viz is making it their like #1 keystone thing heading into summer 2023, which admittedly was a very light season for anime. Like not a lot going on, and they fumbled. Yeah. And they're just like, hey, here's a really cool, fun anime that you're going to get attached to. Episode 6 comes out, 2-week break. Episode 7 comes out, 1-week break, and then a recap episode. Episode 8 comes out, and then 9 comes out a week later, indefinite hiatus.
So weird.
So weird.
So wild.
Yeah.
But in other news, JJK just got renewed for another episode.
We did it, baby. Like,
ding, 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 ding.
That's why you have more than 22 employees and you put a gun to the back of their head as they draw. You're like, Gojo looks a little bit weird there. They're going to get more blood on Hanami, don't you? Don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah, true. It is interesting to compare Mappa to
Bug Films. Yeah. Bug Films too busy working on the Ants mobile game movie. Yeah.
I know. We got 22 Gooby Woobies. Everything about you drinking was a disaster. You had fucking psycho eyes on me.
I'm sorry you said Gooby Woobies.
And then a whole spurt of water.
It's my favorite. I love talking about the Ants mobile games and Gooby Woobies. Those are my favorite. You've hit my 2 favorite things.
Bug Films, just a whole studio full of a bunch of Gooby Woobies.
Gooby Woobies. I don't know if I can get this out this week, boss. Too busy working on the Mr. Dubstep film.
I know, it's like, sorry, boss. And the boss is like, it's okay.
It's all right. We're too busy trying to convert this crab to our team.
No, big crab. Hope we could get it. Oh, we lost all the guys.
Oh no, we're down to 18 employees. The giant crab got our lead animator.
They go in, the first thing they have to do is like evade a giant crab monster.
Sorry, boss. Yeah. We lost our CFO to the crab. I have no idea how to proceed.
I like how it's like 3 of our employees left to map, and our CFO got killed by the crab.
Eaten. It's all right. We're trying to get some of the animators together to recruit them to our team.
Hear it, Bug.
Here's the chapter boss. He's like a nub, like holding an iPad.
Yeah.
Oh God, Bug
That's
Films.
a joke for nobody.
That's a joke for only people who have listened to a specific episode.
Every single episode.
God, we're gonna get so like episode 100 is just gonna be the entire episode is references to past episodes. People it's gonna be like people stepping into season 6 of JoJo's and be like, why are they kissing and why is one peeing in the other one's mouth? Like I thought this was about vampires.
Yeah.
God, all right, everything's fucked. All right. By the way, I read chapter 2 of Kagurabachi. Did you read it?
No, I
did not mean to hit you in the throat. It's our first documented podcast assault. I threw the thing that Wagyu was eating last episode of Danny.
He threw right at my neck. Listen, no, it's on me. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm always behind.
You need to get on Kagurabachi.
I know.
You need to get on the train.
How is it? Chapter 2.
So, first off, I was right about everything.
Yeah.
About everything.
It's bad?
No, it's good. It's good. So, but last week I was like, this is super formulaic. Yeah. It's going to be a revenge story. The mob killed his father. He has to go get the certain amount of enchanted swords back from the people who killed his father. Every single thing I was right about.
I thought you were right about him being like, now I gotta fuck my kid brother.
That would be, listen, could be chapter 3.
Yeah.
Could be like, not funny. I don't want this
used in heading that direction.
I don't want this used in out of context memes where you're like, he's going to go fuck his kid brother, and I'm like, wait, it might happen. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
But it was like literally
really fucking shut that down.
Yeah, no, I don't want this being used in out of context memes. But the entire chapter was like them cleaning up the scene of killing everybody, and it was like, oh, here's why he's angry. His father was killed by the sorcerers. His father has 6 enchanted blades, all of which were stolen by the sorcerers, and then like he has the 7th blade, which like his father protected, saved because he committed his entire life to making it for his son. And so the entire story is going to be, and the literal chapter ends with them being like, we found the location of the first enchanted blade. So it's just going to be Chihiro hunting down the 6 enchanted blades in mini boss fights until he gets to the last sorcerer, who's going to be the guy that we were introduced in chapter 1. And then he's going to get revenge for his father at the end. Then he's going to be like, oh, you're not even worth killing. Sheathe the sword, because that's a lesson his father was trying to tell him the entire time. He'll get all his blades back. He'll become a swordsmith. He'll learn the lesson of swordsmithing, find out there's a massive responsibility on the person creating the swords, and then bing, bang, boom. Yeah. And you know why I know this manga is going to be incredibly popular?
Why?
Because I predicted all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the more predictable an anime and a manga is, the more popular it'll be.
Wow. Interesting. That's so, like, sad.
You know what, though? I feel like recent manga has kind of rallied against that.
I mean, JJK is pretty unpredictable. Chainsaw Man's like batshit crazy.
Those are the two that I would use as examples. Yeah. I would say Chainsaw Man and JJK, two of the more popular manga, not anime.
I'd go Blue Lock. I'd put Blue Lock in there. It's a big twist on the like
shonen
usual,
sports anime kind of thing. Yeah.
At least like tonally, maybe it hasn't thrown in any like real twists like in the plot, but its existence is a bit of a like misdirect.
No, it's definitely like it's like every like, oh, here's my favorite character. Oh, here's this like super stud. And then it's like even the first episode like ends with the super stud getting a ball to the face and he gets dropped out and it's like you have to be cutthroat out here.
Yeah.
So I think Blue Lock, JJK, and Chainsaw Man do a really good job of like diverting the standard, but like Black Clover,
Demon
Slayer, One Piece, like all
Attack on Titans. Off of that, it's pretty
the
unpredictable.
First 4 seasons are like, okay, of course. And then like when you get to the outside, when we get to outside, that's when things get unpredictable, I would say.
I suppose. I mean, it's pretty like on like the whole premise, like all of season 1, when you first watch it, is like, what is this shit? Like it's crazy. And then like you don't really expect other Titan shifters. You don't expect Eren to be one.
True.
Like,
you don't expect his father passing it down, the time travel shit, the Titans in the walls. No, Attack on Titan definitely gets off course.
Attack on Titan has like defied all marketing logic and somehow become the world's most popular anime.
So weird to me
like,
still.
It's unbelievably graphic.
Yeah.
It's like
complicated.
It's complicated as
Yeah.
fuck. It's like convoluted as fuck. It's so anti-mainstream.
Yeah.
Yet it's the most mainstream. Look at our fucking desk.
It's the one anime all of your friends know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, oh, you watch it. Like everyone's like, oh, I watch it. I talk about anime. And like,
Yeah.
oh, me and my buddies, we watch Attack on Titan. And I'm like, how? Like, I just like, how did that happen?
I think
it's a mech anime. It's just so weird to me.
Yeah. I think it depends. I don't really know like about anime or like I don't really know about like manga necessarily because like again, who can keep up with new manga? They get dropped left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like newer manga are like diverting from that because yeah, JJK, Chainsaw Man, all the popular ones.
Yeah.
I think people are like weeding out even Demon Slayer. Like the reason so many people are like Demon Slayer is mid, Demon Slayer sucks
is because the story
it's
is
formulaic.
so formulaic. Yeah.
Yeah, but they just do it really well.
Yeah. And I think that's what Kagurabachi is going to do. It's just going to be a revenge. It's going to be a gritty, graphic revenge like story about collecting six blades, which is like kind of just Katana Gatari, like a little bit. It's a Katana Gatari meets Demon Slayer, but like I think the art style is really good. Chihiro and the other Mr. Akame or whatever his name is are really cool characters. They're funny and they have like a good dynamic. I think like the sword styles and the enchanted blades is like kind of cool. The sorcery's dope. Like
I like that he has like koi fish powers.
yeah, he's got
that's like unique.
like goldfish and
Yeah, that's cool.
And like he had like three different kinds of goldfish, all based off the father. Like his father bought 3 goldfish and they raised them together.
They're not kois.
No,
They look
they're
like
goldfish.
kois.
Yeah.
They're long goldfish.
They're just big goldfish.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they're big sorcerer
Yeah,
goldfish.
true.
But so I think it's gonna do really well. It's gonna run to completion, especially like with the meme backing hype is like gonna push it. Like obviously some people will read chapter 1 and be like that was funny and they'll never like touch it again. But like enough people, the chapter is good enough that enough people like me are gonna stick with it.
Do you think? I mean, like, for some reason I was like disheartened when you told me the plot because I was like, oh, this might just be like a 100 chapter thing and then done. Do you think it's going to be short?
I don't think. No, it won't be longer. It'll be shorter than JJK, I guess. Because it's the thing is the end is already in sight, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
just 6 swords. But do you think? I mean, who could say? Would you rather it be 6 swords done, or would you rather he gets a 6th sword and then it's like, oh, Kagurabachi Shippuden?
It's like, oh, now that I have my 6 swords, I have to become a sword. I could see him like getting the 6 swords and then being like, I now have revenge for my father, like kills the top sorcerer. And it's like, now I have to begin my journey as a swordsman, maybe.
Well, you know the thing, it's like...
No, I think that's it. I think that's got to be the end.
I almost want one more arc after. Because it's like, if you get these 6 swords, I want to see him use all 6. You know, it's like when I remember Assassin's Creed Black Flag had this thing where if you 100% the game, you could get a skeleton crew. Like everyone on your pirate ship would be a skeleton.
That's sick.
It's sick, but you've 100%ed the game.
So what are you going to do with the fucking skeletons?
Exactly.
God damn it.
So it's like, he gets all these swords. I want at least one last villain. Or the final villain needs to be killed with 5 sword style, whatever.
Yeah, well, so I don't even know the final, like, I think it's like so the sorcerers killed his father, and then, like, we don't know how the sorcerers found the place. And then, like, they stole the 6 swords, so I think the sorcerers might have, like, handed out the swords, and then, like, I think he'll have to, like, cut through the underlings who have the 6 swords, and then the final guy won't have a sword.
Right.
And he'll just, like, killing a sorcerer with the sorcery of the swords.
Are they, like... What are the sorcerers like? Are they like dorks?
No, they're...
Have you seen?
What do you think? They're like Shadow Money Wizard Gang? Like, it's like very much bad guys with magical powers.
Well, but like, yeah, like what?
No, they're like, oh, I might cast Fireball. Oh, no, a critical fail roll. No, they're fucking
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
No,
yeah.
they're fucking big badass mages.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not like wizard. They don't have like big ass wizard hats.
I'm
like
imagining
Merlin
a big
cooking up,
wizard hat.
Yeah, cooking up stew, and they're like, God, I hope nobody with an enchanted katana comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they literally make like pointy trees
He's like,
and teleport.
I peed my pants.
Oh no, he's got goldfish, my biggest sphere. No, they're badass like mobsters.
All right, cool.
Yeah. It's like a story about like you just cut down an entire room of Yakuza people. Imagine it was like, oh no, like if those were the final baddies.
Because you were like, the underlings have the swords, and I was like, oh, these fucking pussies can't handle a sword.
It'll be like Kill la Kill, where it's like, oh, this guy's got like a slightly good suit. He's got a better suit. We got to get to the 3-star suit. And I'll be like, all right, here's he's going to start with like the weakest katana.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, this one has 1 goldfish style. And then the strongest one will be at the end.
You know what it reminds me of vaguely? Did you ever watch Afro Samurai?
Absolutely.
That show has a premise that I'm so jealous of. Do you remember the premise is like there's wow, here I am hardly remembering it.
You got it.
Well, the premise is like, I don't remember what happens if you have the headband, but everyone has these headbands and like someone has like the red headband and everyone's hunting them.
Yeah.
And like, if someone, it's like this weird headband based society.
Yeah.
And like, if you have this headband, you can challenge this guy's headband. It's almost like Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, when they had the star chips.
Oh my God, I wanted the star chip so badly. That was like a part of one of the, like, if you had like the portable decks, you had the star chips.
Yeah.
You could take other people's star chips and you'd be like, yeah, fuck you. Like, that's mine now.
I think it's like basically this headband hierarchy. And I think it was like one guy has one headband and only people with like a black headband could challenge him. But to get a black headband, you have to like be a white headband user and kill someone with a black headband.
It's karate. It's how karate works.
Exactly. Yeah. It's literally that. I love it. I think that's rad. And you know what? You're right. It's karate. And now I'm embarrassed.
It's fully just karate. Yeah, you're
They're just taking a karate class.
Exactly.
But it's very cool. And I was always like, man, I wish I came up with that. What an easy writes itself idea.
Absolutely. Like, instead of the waist, we put them on the head. And you're like, you're a genius. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Completely rewrote everything. I mean, that and throw like a little like jazzy, like music on there, and you have a fucking banger anime.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna do really well. I think it's gonna get its full run. I think it's gonna be 100, 200 chapters. It's gonna be like 30 chapters to each sword, basically.
You think he'll win a prize? The mangaka for this?
Another one? Yeah,
prize?
another fucking slap on the back. Yeah, probably. Who knows? I think it'll be like it's so funny because this week on Shonen Jump, another manga came out. And the hype is just like nobody's even talking about it. It was a 2 on Ice. Yeah, 2 on Ice came out this week, which is just...
What is that, Yuri?
A self-taught figure skater chases the shadow of the prodigy who inspires him. It's going to be...
It's like reverse Yuri on Ice.
Exactly, yeah. But it looks straight, I think, because it's a woman skating with a man. So it's Yuri on Ice, but straight.
Straight is the new gay.
You know what?
And derogatorily.
I mean, like, yeah. Like, I was gonna say, like, actually, though, like, I was like, all straight, like, so many straight characters get shipped in gay relationships. Yeah. Might as well be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kagurabachi is gonna do well.
Oh, sorry.
No, please. After you.
Speaking of Viz manga or shonen manga, have you seen? There's a manga. If you have the app up right now,
I do.
I bet if you, I wish I knew what it was called. It's like a little caveman looking boy. He's got like red hair, red star hair, little fang. It's like ice something. It has to do with ice. It's like a little like
Ice Head Gil.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to check that out because I love what that kid looks like. Ice Head Gil.
In an icy world, young Gil and his axe embark on a quest to defend his father's legacy.
That looks like it could be the next Hunter x Hunter, doesn't it? Like he's got popular shonen energy.
He's got a weird look. He's got like black roots, and then he's got like sections of fire hair.
I think he's got a good look. I could see that being like the next biggest manga ever. I mean, based on his look.
Really? I mean, it's on chapter 13, so obviously it's doing well.
It's cooking.
There are so many manga I just do not read. Like, it's just like the amount of just manga I see on the Shonen Jump app, I have no idea. Like Shoujo No, Wild Strawberry got its 7th chapter. I do need to read that.
Well, it's also like an art form that's been going on for literal decades, and we kind of just started getting into it seriously.
I guess.
It'd be like if someone came up to you and was like, I haven't watched any movies. Where should I start? And it's like, none?
Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, hey, yeah, get in. Go get the real art.
Well, it's like imagine having this whole history of a medium. You'll never catch up. What do you do?
If I had to recommend, somebody comes to you.
Yeah.
I've never watched a movie.
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
Wow.
Because let me tell you right now, Fast 10. Absolutely. Could you imagine? Listen, let's just say you've never seen a movie before. And the first movie you see is John Cena and a tank El Camino firing rounds at Jason's Momoa.
Yeah. They would become the most obnoxious person ever because they would be, if they didn't like it, they'd be like, I don't like movies. They're all like Fast 10.
No, here's my thing. Then you make the perfect movie watch.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because they're like, that was sick as fuck. And then
no, they wouldn't. That movie blows
It was
cheeks.
so good.
That movie eats ass.
And the thing is, you have no concept of movies. So you're like, are they all like this? Are they all this incredible?
Uh-huh.
And then you go see an actually good movie and you like feel things that aren't just like,
Yeah.
everything's up from there. That's a perfect movie to recommend. Fast 10.
Absolutely.
The next time you run into a small Victorian child who's never seen a movie before, Fast 10.
So you're like transported back to Sparta, and the first thing you show them, Fast 10.
They'd have a heart attack.
Yeah.
First of all, could you imagine?
They'd kill you.
Could you not only imagine explaining the concept of cars, but also that they don't fucking do this?
You'd have to pause every 10 seconds.
You're like, all right. Yes, yeah. That's a Pelican, and yes, it is flying over a highway. You can't back a car out of a Pelican onto a freeway and drive it. I need you to know this. How do they do it? Fuck. CGI. Now I have to, like, so many things you would have to explain. Like, imagine explaining Fast 9 and the fact that they have a car in space and not only have to explain what space is, but also that a fucking car cannot go there. Incredible.
It would take the rest of your lifespan explaining to them what space is. You would never get to the rest of the movie.
And be like, all right, why are they afraid of space?
Yeah.
Fucking gravity. God damn it.
Did you? Yeah, true.
God damn it.
In one fell swoop, you become every philosopher ever because of Fast 9.
The amount of question. Yeah, exactly. That's how we explain society is through Fast 9.
Did you enjoy my photo I sent you of me in the Fast X hat with
that was great.
With my racist facial hair?
That was good. That was really good. I thought you were going to keep it.
I wanted to.
Occasionally you just do things that, like, I think you do them because you're like, oh, Sarah will hate this. And I know for a fact that's a thing she would despise.
She hated it.
Yeah.
I'll send it to Stank, but I had for our audio-only listeners, I had a big beard for the past few weeks.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm very happy it's gone.
Really?
I'm really happy. I didn't like it.
Wow.
It was just so... You look chic now. You look like a guy.
I look slick.
You look like a guy who would recommend a book to me. You know, before you look like a guy who would, like, hand me a book and you'd be like, this is how you live. You're like, this is what I live by.
Yeah, as I take a big bite of bark.
Exactly. Like, but you're like, now you're like, I would see you in a coffee shop. Be like, no, like, oh, you're reading this?
Yeah.
Oh, she has other works. They're really good. And you're like, toodaloo. And I'm like, all right, that was nice. But like now, before you were like, got to get back to my cabin.
Yeah, but so I was shaving and I had a very nefarious beard style going.
You had a Fu Manchu.
It was just the mustache and then
Didn't wrap down to the bottom?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a mustache and then just like a line and down my chin.
Flavor saver.
Yeah, it was
little landing strip.
Exactly. It was a real I looked like I had nefarious deeds to do.
You had the singer of, oh God, what is his name? He has the two huge snake bites.
Oh, Disturbed.
Yeah, but like the singer of Disturbed's facial hair, but like take it all the way down.
Yeah, exactly. I looked like Robin Hood a bit. Yeah.
I guess.
You're so confused on what it looked like because the things you've been saying have not at all been in sync with what I'm saying.
I don't remember what Robin Hood looks like. That's my thing.
He has a little mustache and then like a little goatee strip.
Does he? Yeah. But it goes out. He's got the Tony Stark. Robin Hood is Tony Stark.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But I had that.
Did you?
What?
Did you, when you shaved, did you do the little one?
What little one?
Did you do the little one?
The Hitler mustache?
Yeah.
You weirdo.
Every time you shave, you have to do the Hitler mustache.
No, I didn't, and no, you don't.
Absolutely do.
I told you about the time my dad said I looked like Hitler, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of your out of the blue
I won't be doing that.
It's okay. Listen, every time you're shaving, women, you don't have to listen to this part of the podcast, but every time you're shaving your beard,
shave your legs, shave a little Hitler, and
oh yeah, of course, that's what he did. But like you do like mutton chops, and then you're right, you do the wraparounds, and you go, oh, this looks good. And then you do a mustache, you do like porn stash, and then when you only have the mustache left, you shave the sides, and then you're just like, you just like you pretend you have a big speech to give.
Wow.
And
Thank God you're Jewish.
Yeah, exactly. I get to do this. Listen, my grandmother had to flee Austria. All right, like I was genuinely affected by this man. But it's fun.
Yeah,
it's just fun. You just get to see it.
It's just a fun little romp.
It's not like because I have his facial hair for 30 seconds in the bathroom. I'm like, you know what? Mein Kampf was good.
You start getting thoughts. You start to wonder. You know,
oh, God, the trains, the train systems.
But I had that mustache and then I had a Fast X flat brim hat and no shirt. Yeah. And I just gave a real intense look at Nick.
Did that hat get tossed in the trash before I even left the theater?
I'm so insulted at you.
Why?
Why don't you are the fucking champion of Fast X?
I haven't worn a flat top hat since 16.
It's the bit. It's the $1,000 beanbag of hat wear.
Hey, that is very true. Yeah. That is the bit. You're right. If it was made by like Dolce & Gabbana, that's my fucking dream hat.
We're already at the point where new listeners can't understand what we're talking about. That was so many bits.
The barrier to entry is so high on this podcast.
There's a learning curve here.
I want us to be the One Piece of podcasts.
Yeah.
Should we get to our flashback? Your flashback. You don't have a flashback, do you?
News?
Yeah. You didn't have one. We looked in the beginning of the podcast. You had nothing. My flashback was the someone.
I'm wondering if I could just make something up.
Okay.
I hear JJK's coming back.
That's exactly what I was going to. That was the joke I wanted to make. God, I love you. All right, can I do best boy?
Yeah.
Okay. My best boy is NyQuil. Yeah, shout out to NyQuil. The legal way to sedate yourself into sleeping.
You know what the worst part about that is? For a brief second, I was like, are they in Black Clover?
NyQuil?
I was like, oh, is that like a Kill la Kill
You're
thing?
like NyQuil. Yeah, no, it's like no
yeah, they're on your shoulder, right?
Yeah. Right
no
here.
Quill.
Yeah, no Quill, of course. So NyQuil, because I have a 14-hour flight tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to China, for those of you who don't know. I just came back from a rave, so I'm here for 36 hours in LA. And of course, in the course of those 36 hours, we have to film 2 podcasts. That's what we do because we love you, and it's who we am. It's who we am. That's it's who I am, who we are.
Yeah.
So yeah, NyQuil, because I am going to sedate myself on this flight. I'm going to we board at midnight.
Yeah.
Because apparently, if you're flying to China, like the best thing to do is you board at midnight, and that way you land at like 6 a.m. there.
Yeah.
Like it's like you lose a day and you fly throughout the night. So like you board at what would be night, like your sleepy time in LA,
yeah.
and then you fly, and then you wake up in the morning, basically. And it's like the morning, like you slept for hypothetically 8 hours. Sorry, one of our cameras died, and Danny went on a 10-minute diatribe about how he could beat me in a fight.
Chad agrees.
You want to know what his strategy is, ladies and gentlemen? You want to know what Danny's strategy for beating me in a fight is?
Quick, baby.
Yeah, Danny. Well, first off, yeah, apparently everybody in chat thinks I'm a 45-year-old geriatric who's going to be like, oh, I can't. Is that an after image? I'm 155 pounds. I boxed for 10 years. I know I can fight fast, okay?
I'm fast. I'm scrappy. I'm from the streets.
How fast
You're from money.
How fast do you think the average 145-pound boxer is?
You want to know what's funny?
What?
I just gave you a shoulder massage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And what are you, the speedster?
You didn't even know.
SpongeBob?
Yeah, you want to see me do it again?
Want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
Danny's strategy for beating me in a fight is holding his hands in front of his head and then swinging his
it's called a block, idiot.
Swinging his hips. It's one block. Yes. And then
I
swinging his
wiggle.
hips back and forth.
And then I wiggle.
Yes, and because that way I simply won't be able to punch him in the stomach. That's his strategy, ladies and gentlemen. So when
do
Nick,
at the top, too.
when Nick gets knocked out unconscious on our next episode, you know what? Just know I couldn't hit him. I tried, but I couldn't fucking do it. All right.
I want one of these podcast episodes to end with just like,
Please come on over. just out like a light. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Danny will clean my clock one of these days.
Yeah.
And to think, I thought we got it all out in marriage counseling.
we're going to fight one day.
I don't think we are.
I think it would do really well.
Why would
Either that, I thought about this in the shower. I don't know. It being in the shower is not important.
You think about fighting
No,
me
don't do this because
just suds it up. You're like,
Don't do this because it's going to be really bad if you do this.
I could take him. I think I could take him.
I thought about this in the shower, and another really big good video would be
Us showering together.
a while ago. Please don't do this, Nick.
Yeah.
A while ago, we talked about like the strongest anime character we could beat in a fight.
Yeah.
And I said I could take OG Naruto because he's a 12-year-old
Yes.
who can clone himself. And I said I could take a few clone children. So we get in a boxing ring. You send like a couple dozen kids at me. And for everyone I shove over, that's a kill.
Okay. All right. I love that it's just a shove. But I was thinking just like we just have kids sign release forms. We're just fucking kicking through skulls.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like some child just in a wheelchair just because like I just wanted to meet my favorite YouTuber and this is the only way I could do it. It's fucking, we cut to a flash sheet of you with one of them over your head and everyone's trying to get through the ring to stop you and just like, oh, just snap his back.
I've got one over my head. He just whispers, I flew from Illinois for this. Crack over my knee.
Please react to Blue Exorcist. Yeah. Fuck, that'd be so funny. It'll never happen.
What do you mean? You just send a bunch of kids at me. We shove them over.
Okay.
We do each shove is a takedown.
Okay.
I see how many I could take out.
Damn.
And then maybe one of them is secretly the real Naruto. And if I get to him, I win.
Yeah.
He's secretly 15.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's just like ripped.
He's harder.
Yeah, he's just like shredded. I like the idea of one, 2 YouTubers looking for 12-year-olds. Just put that out there.
Looking for 10-year-olds,
Yeah.
parentheses, to fight.
To fight. I
Won't pay.
Will won't pay. Yeah,
No pay.
Yeah, Will you will have to sign it's like a Mr.
Yeah.
Beast video, but instead of like paying them, we'll just, like, send them off in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
God, we cannot do that, but I love the concept of it.
But we can fight. You and I.
We're not gonna fight, Dan.
I'm gonna hype it up every week, and I'm gonna train.
You're gonna train?
I'm gonna train. Meanwhile, you'll lay and grow fat
Yeah.
and lazy
Listen.
and old.
If there was a time to fight me, it would be after I get back from China.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
jet lagged. I won't have worked out for 2.5 weeks.
How long are you going?
2.5 weeks.
Can you
Can
go for
you go a
longer?
little longer?
I hear chat is
You
really
can
cool.
half cycle of steroids in that amount of time. Okay, you have a best boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so I'm not really into like Japanese music
Okay.
or any music of any other language than English because the big appeal to me with music is like the lyrics.
Yeah.
I really like them. I like songs. I like tell stories typically.
I can sing along to a Japanese song.
I like the Naruto one that bangs. I like almost know the words of now.
Gotcha, yeah.
But like typically, I don't know. I don't really like songs I don't understand the lyrics to.
Gotcha.
Guilty Gear's soundtrack has always gone really hard.
Yeah.
And they recently released a DLC character, Johnny. They released him a bit ago, but Spotify just recently got his theme song. It's called Just Lean. It's so unbelievably sick.
Really?
I have been jamming out to it. That band does the most hardcore Japanglish metal.
I love Japanglish because it's just like you listen to it and they're like, I am feeling rocks. And you're like, what? What just happened?
It's like,
Yeah.
have you heard any of the Guilty Gear songs?
No.
The main theme that like was in all the trailers and stuff, it's for the character Soul Bad Guy. Let me tell you, all the music is like this. It's all this level of Japanglish. The like chorus of the main theme is that is bullshit blazing.
Yeah, literally.
In our hearts is blazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a
that's
sip of
great.
water after that one. After that voice crack. Yeah.
all of that.
That's why we don't sing. That's why we talk.
That was an embarrassing voice crack.
No, it's good.
But yeah, this one's like so good. It's just
it's the Zom 100 opening where it's they're like it's like dystopia song of the devil, dystopia song of the devil, and it's just that.
It's like that other good Naruto opening. That's like, we are fighting dreamers.
Fighting dreams. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you fighting dreams, or are you just like you have dreams and you fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Cool. So your best boy is
That song, Just Lean.
Just Lean.
Or
Fuck
just
yeah.
the Guilty Gear soundtrack.
Yeah,
It bangs.
just go listen to it. Okay, me and Danny have had an MC tier list that we have had halfway done for a long time, and because we are now only an hour and a half into the episode, we're going to finish up this MC tier list. And we left off in a really great place. We put Luffy in A. That was the last thing that we did. People were upset with us because we put Denji. Basically, the number one complaint is that we put Denji in S.
People suck.
People were like, oh, I can't believe Aaron below Denji.
100%.
Luffy below Denji.
Listen, put Luffy above Denji, whatever. I'm not far enough into One Piece to really make an argument. Denji above Aaron every day of the week.
Love him.
Denji 2 tiers above Aaron at least.
People seem to realize that we're an incredibly pro Chainsaw Man podcast.
Pro Chainsaw Man, almost anti-Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's
depending on the day of the week. But like, just in terms of like, fuck it, because we hardly ever get to respond to comments because we don't read them much.
No.
It's usually just people making fun of my appearance.
yes. They are not nice to you.
But like, I just don't get. I never have understood why people love Aaron as a protagonist because I think he's like the weakest part. Yeah, for our audio only listeners, do an audio version of that. Oh, you're raising your hand.
That was the whistle of my hand going past the microphone.
Gotcha.
It's because he's edgy.
I thought you were doing a Heil Hitler.
God, no.
Well, because you always talk about how
Not
he
even
was,
close to the right angle.
well, I got Hitler on the brain because of the
fucking
mustache
guess so.
talk.
It happens.
Because the mustache
Yeah.
talk. I thought that's why. Because he's edgy. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But he's like, no one watches. I mean, they do apparently. I just like, he's just not the focal point of the show.
Not
He's
anymore.
like sidelined for like all of season 3 and most of 4.
Most of the show is Aaron's either away or being taken away. That's the big thing is, oh shit, there goes Aaron, and where's Aaron?
Yeah.
That's most of the show.
I just don't get like putting Denji up against Aaron, like being like Aaron's higher than Denji, and anyone who thinks that is like doing, or not anyone who doesn't like us and thinks that is like, they don't get Denji.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a lot of people who don't get Denji and are like, his motivation is to touch a boob. It's so much more than that.
It is. Yeah,
like,
he's genuinely. The reason that I think Denji is such a great character, to me at least, is that he breaks the mold. Like, it's like he's like so non-typical of the show. Like, he's a borderline sociopath.
Yeah.
Trying to understand human emotion because he spends his entire life living like as a recluse and is like being given love for the first time.
Selling his nuts and teeth.
Yeah, this thing is he's selling his eye. Like, he's like trying to like find an identity amongst everything, and like he just simply can't. And like that's like kind of the cool thing about Denji. And that's why I think he breaks the mold. And like I think Aaron's listen. We gave Aaron A. Like we did.
Yeah.
Like, neither of us like Attack. Like we like Attack on Titan. Obviously, we're not gonna say we've gotten very deep
like
into
parts of Attack
We've gotten
on
very
Titan.
deep into the week. Like I enjoy Attack on Titan. I watch Attack on Titan, but like it's not our favorite anime. We still gave him an A because he's like at the very least we have to admit that so much conversation revolves around him. Like he's a very iconic character. But anyways, our first character is Mob from Mob Psycho. Now whatever.
Okay. S?
Mob?
A, maybe?
Mob is an interesting spot because I think Mob definitely could be put in, like, I'd say A or S as well, because Mob is kind of like the strongest person in the universe, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to use, it's like his entire life is trying to not use his powers because he wants to live a regular life. I think he's an interesting character. I think A, I'm comfortable with.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I would do on like sub A. Like maybe I would do B. Because everything around him is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's another show like Attack on Titan, like One Punch Man and Mob Psycho are both kind of shows where they know that the protagonist is like bland and like they're one note, obviously.
Yeah.
So the world is kind of more the focus.
Yeah. And Mob, when you cut to him, it's like, because the problem is when Mob shows up, everything gets fixed.
Yeah.
Right. And then, like, so, but like, it's like, does Mob want to use his powers? And I think Mob becomes a more interesting character later on, like, especially when he gets rejected. And, like, he has to, like, deal with the fact that the girl he likes doesn't like him.
Season 2 onward is when he starts getting, like, very compelling.
And then his relationship with Reagan, and, like, all of that, and, like, him trying to, like, identify, like, his place in the world is really cool. But like, I don't think Mob is the strongest part of Mob Psycho.
Yeah,
I think it's Reagan. I think it's the blonde guy with the stupid hair, the teleporter in the most recent season. Like, so many more people are more compelling than Mob, but Mob has some of the most compelling moments. Like Mob getting pushed to like his question mark mode and like his 100% modes.
Well, but that's the thing. The most compelling stuff about Mob is the animation. You know, it's like, because when he shows up, you're going to get a sick fight.
Yeah.
And like I said, there are compelling things like him getting rejected, like you said, and like him really tackling with like what he wants to be, what he wants to do with his power.
Yeah.
But you're right. Everything surrounding him is more compelling than he is. Like Reagan, I'd put way above Mob.
Yeah. Oh, Reagan's an easy ass character.
Yeah.
I love him. I love him yelling out like his self-defense attacks when he like just like he's like, and he yells out self-defense to make sure legally he's covered. Fucking love Reagan. I'll give Mob an A. I like Mob. I don't feel like he deserves to be in B.
Yeah.
Because like B is like, we have like Lego She who's like I don't know, like I think A is safe for Mob.
We'll keep him in A. Now that you reminded me that Lego She's in B, I would put Mob in B.
Really?
That's just my vote. I think Lego She's really, I don't know though. Because that's another one where like the things around him, like I feel like B is maybe like the place for where the show
is better than the MC.
Better than the MC.
We can put Mob in B. I'm down for Mob in B.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Naruto.
I love Naruto.
I love
as
Naruto
an
too.
MC.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Interesting. I can't tell.
Actually, there's like not a lot.
Yeah.
This is literally the only Naruto
guess
statue
so.
I have in here.
And
it's not Naruto.
Jiraiya.
Oh, yeah, and Jiraiya. Oh, yeah, which you saw too. It's fucking destroyed down here. It's not even on it anymore.
I know.
It's literally just a toad.
I'm so sorry. I'll fix it. Naruto's gotta be S, right?
He's the best out of the MCs.
Yeah.
From the big three. I would say so.
Yeah.
Between
I would
Talk
too.
No Jutsu, which obviously like is bullshit at moments. You're like, oh my God, We get it. You're talking everybody out of it. But I think he has a really compelling story. I think towards the end, this is obviously everything comes down to writing, but this isn't really Naruto's fault, which is a stupid thing to say because it's like, what do you mean? It's like, it's all Kishimoto's fault. But it's not Naruto's fault that he becomes like the reincarnation and he becomes this like god reincarnate. Because I think Naruto's message holds true throughout. Like, obviously, the circumstances Naruto are written into make the message that he's conveying that like, oh, you're more than the circumstance of your birth and like you can achieve anything through hard work becomes more diluted down when you're like, oh my God, you were born into being a god with the most powerful parents of all time, with the strongest entity in the entire universe sealed inside of you. Yeah. So, but I think Naruto as a character, he's like my comfort character. I love him. Naruto's the reason I got into anime. I think the message holds true with a lot of things. So yeah, Naruto's a pretty easy ass.
He's got like a bit of a case of like big three-itis where like, he does grow as a person and as a character, but it's like pulling teeth. Yeah. Like he stays pretty the same through it.
Yeah.
But his like foundation is like deeper and more complex, I would say, than like the other big three MCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because I like him being raised as an orphan, all those kinds of things. Like the rags to riches story, definitely amongst all of them, is the best in Naruto for me.
And Kishimoto just really knows how to write like he writes some of the most human moments out of the big three, like of Naruto, just like, you know, they'll have a chapter or an episode of him just like going around, like helping everybody with their problems. They're shitting on him. Then he comes home and like lights his birthday cake and he's all alone.
And you're like that. Oh God.
Like,
it's just like small, devastating moments.
Yeah.
That only affect Naruto. And you're like, okay, I can understand why people love him. Jesus Christ.
What? Oh no.
Fairy Tail's main character. That's embarrassing.
Oh, I don't even know. Natsu? I mean, I know his name, but I don't know anything about him.
I've only seen 150 episodes of Fairy Tail.
Oh, only.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this was like also when I was like 16.
Yeah. Back when Fairy Tail was like peak animation.
Everyone was like, oh my God, Fairy Tail's incredible.
The animation was gorgeous at the time.
It was really good in like 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no feelings towards Natsu. He's the most.
Will he be our first D tier?
No. Well, we have Kirito down there.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we have Kirito down there. Natsu to me is a cool character. He's just like, I don't know. I feel as though I don't have any strong opinions towards him, and you haven't seen Fairy Tail.
What's his shtick? Is he like an Asta? Like,
I don't even. Here's the thing. Like, this is how he's just so kind of bland to me.
Yeah.
He's the son of a dragon. He joins a guild. I think he's big on. I think he's a protect your friends guy. Like I think he might be an Ichigo. I genuinely don't remember.
Protect your friends kind of
guy.
Yeah.
I watched 150 episodes 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him a B. That's right. That's fair. Whatever. Fuck you. Okay. Who's the one from Bungo Stray Dogs that wears brown?
Show me.
Okay, yeah, it's fucking Stank and his waist images for our main characters here. Rampo? I think it's Rampo.
I'm interested to see who Stank thinks is the main character. Yeah, it's Rampo.
Okay, the main character, the historic main character of Bungo Stray Dogs, Rampo.
So here's the bit of that.
Yeah.
Bungo Stray Dogs' main character is actually this character named Atsushi. Yeah. And the show just gets fucking hijacked in season 4 by Rampo. I would put him in S tier.
Got you.
One day I'm gonna give you homework, which will be the first season of Bungo Stray Dogs.
Got you.
It won't do the show justice because season 4 slaps and season 5's even better now.
Okay.
Rampo is like unbelievably complex. He starts off like he sucks. He has like the Naruto treatment where he starts off and you're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like find out why he's like that, and also like the moments where he sucked kind of retroactively become endearing. And he's just like incredible. That dude's an S tier guy.
I'll do it. Why not? Fucking who? Yeah. If you can become the main character of a show without being the main character, it's a Killua effect. You know, it's like, all right, everybody, like you spend enough time on camera, everybody loves you as much, if not more than the main character. Fucking, you get S tier.
And people aren't pissed about it, like in Chainsaw 2.
What do you mean?
I have one friend who reads Chainsaw Man other than you, and he doesn't like that it's a new protagonist.
It's not even okay. First off, Asa is the protagonist for 10 chapters.
Okay,
and then she disappears. We haven't seen Asa in like 15 chapters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so tell your friend to keep up with the manga.
I guess so.
We're very much back with Denji.
Yeah.
Saitama.
Why do I always go first? You know, why not you?
You know how I feel about this. One of the very first bits that we did on this podcast was like the first 3 episodes was like when I was trying to explain people the complexity that is One Punch Man.
Yeah.
The problem is Saitama as a symbol, I think, is really important in the current shonen genre, where he stands as an example of like a boiled down essence of this is what shonen is. And you're just not, because there's so many layers on shonen, you're just not realizing it. You're like, oh, Saitama didn't do enough work to achieve the level of power he has. Yeah, motherfucker.
That's the point.
That's the fucking point. That is shonen. It's like, oh my God. Oh, Naruto was able to figure out the Rasen Shuriken because he has 1,000 clones and he figured it out in 3 days. Ichigo becomes a soul reaper.
Yeah.
Ichigo figures out Bankai in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's because he had a good he had a good teacher.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Bankai
everyone's the son of somebody awesome.
Bankai takes captains 10 years to learn.
Yeah.
Ichigo figured it out in a couple of days. Like shonen is just, that was too easy, but with a couple of layers of excuses. Saitama just doesn't have the excuses. So for me, Saitama as a symbol is really important in shonen. However, as a character, like he's cool. Like like his battle against Boro, and also Garo, really cool. Like I actually get to see his character. Like whenever Saitama gets angry eyes, awesome. As like it's one of those things. I think B is a good spot for him because I think you made a really good point. A show where the main character isn't the most important thing in the universe can't be anything higher than a B.
Or not even like the most important, but like where he's not the most interesting character, you know?
Because like Metal Bat, Genos, Child Emperor now in the manga.
If he's buried by more interesting characters, he can't be that good. But if it's like, you know, there are characters like Denji, we put it S. And you could argue he's not the most interesting, but it's not like there's not a mountain. Like Aki's very cool. Himino's very cool. It's not like Power's great.
Yeah.
But it's not like a landslide. Like Power should be the protagonist over him, you know?
Yeah. No, I think B is safe for Saitama. I think that's a good rule. Okay. I can't believe I'm pulling a you. Dr. Stone's main character. I almost called him Dr. Stone.
I know it if you want it.
I can't. Oh my God, you're never gonna let me live this down. Yeah. Tell me.
It's Professor.
I'm gonna fuck it. If you say Professor Boulder, I'm gonna freak out. Oh my God. Senku. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
I almost said Dr. Stone. Senku is a really good protagonist.
You like him.
Compelling.
Yeah.
Cool. Smart. Always does the right thing. But like in a way that's interesting and compelling. I wouldn't call him an S tier. Like obviously, like he's intelligent and like he kind of breaks the mold of your standard shonen. He's like not punchy. You know, he'll make a little potion and he'll be like, "Hey, this is how I'm fixing this problem."
Yeah.
I think Senku's an easy A. I think that's okay. I think that's an A for me.
That seems like on brand with what I know about not Black Clover, about Dr. Stone, where it's like similar to Black Clover, where it hasn't broken this like glass ceiling of like being an S tier anime.
Yeah.
Like tons of people like it. And a lot of people love it. People love it. But it's not like, you don't see anyone like cosplaying as the characters. Like,
no.
It's not getting a video game anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
It exists. It's the Gintama. It's a modern day Gintama where it's like, it's a cult classic. Everybody loves it. It's like Yu Yu Hakusho comparatively to like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, everybody loves it, obviously. But like, it's not like it was never top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's one of those like really good anime that's buried, but it's like buried because it's good, but it's not great.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of the thing. But I love Dark Stone. It was probably my favorite with the most recent season, which nothing really happened. It was like my comfort watch, like, but nothing fucking happened. All right. Spike Seagal.
Spike
Seagal. Fuck off.
No, you're.
Am I wrong?
What are you trying to say?
Spike Spiegel?
Yeah.
Spike Spiegel.
Spike Spiegel.
Yes.
First you said
Spike Seagal.
You said
I'm getting Steven Seagal
I
in
thought
that
you said
next to my head.
Spice Seagal, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I feel like if we give him S, it's the nostalgia S.
That's what I'm saying is I'm trying to be like objective and also not be like, well, what will people be mad about? I don't know. He's pretty good. It's been a minute since I watched Cowboy Bebop, though. Because I don't know.
Hands for Days, incredible animation, cool character. You don't really understand his backstory until the end. You know, like how it plays into the main bad guy.
Here's the thing. Here's what I want to ask. What keeps him from being S? Is it just that we're being hipsters?
It might just be that we're being hipsters.
I think it's that, honestly, because I'm like, well, he's funny, he's charismatic.
Great lines.
Great lines. Like, there are moments that have, like, given me chills.
Yeah.
Like, and he's not
Good
like...
ending.
Good ending. He's, like, brooding, but not, like, annoyingly, like, edgy.
Yeah.
I think we're just being obnoxious.
Listen, I think we just have to, I think we occasionally, we have to be like, hey, is this nostalgia or is it actually good? All right, I'm happy with S.
Yeah.
Good S. All right, Tanjiro.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
How about that? Yeah.
What would you give
No
him?
nostalgia there.
What do you give him?
I mean, listen, he's Naruto. You know, he is. I mean, he's not, and he is, because no one was ever a dick to him.
He's Naruto, but, like, nice.
Yeah.
He's not Naruto at all.
You know what? You know what? I think Tanjiro falls into the same category as Saitama and Mob.
Really?
Not the best thing about his universe, by far. If you pulled 100 Demon Slayer people, who's your favorite character?
Probably Inosuke.
20, 25?
Yeah.
Let's say Tanjiro, Inosuke, 40%. I'd say
Yeah.
Zenitsu, 10, 15%. Nezuko, 25%.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd say Tanjiro holds a quarter of the share of people watching Demon Slayer. And then there's all Hashira too. Like if you go into cosplay, like anybody you've seen cosplay Demon Slayer, like there is a good amount of Tanjiro because it's easy, it's accessible.
It's a lot of Tengen.
It's a lot of Tengen, and it's a lot of Inosuke, a lot of Nezuko,
Rengoku.
all those people. I'd say B.
Yeah, I'm like willing, like Demon Slayer is the anime I have made the most fucking like video essays on.
Yeah.
And I have it's similar to Chainsaw Man where like I have like picked it apart of its themes to the point where I like probably am like putting more into it than it is giving out.
Yeah.
So like I'm willing to concede to him being a B.
Yeah. I think he's just not, if you're not the most compelling thing about your universe, that's B.
Yeah. I think season 3 probably proved that.
Yeah.
Where they took out all the compelling characters
and then
except
like,
him.
Oh God, I can't wait for Inosuke to come back. Holy shit. Yeah. This one's going to be easy. Thorfinn.
Thorfinn?
Yeah.
S.
Easy.
Right? The whole show is that he's incredible.
This show is a character study on Thorfinn.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like he is by far and away the most compelling thing about his story because he is the story. It's not like there's war going on in the beginning of all of that. Thorfinn, easiest S of a lifetime.
And other than like Cowboy Bebop, that's probably the only show on this list that is a character study.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything else is like a world.
A universe going on, the things happening around them. Isagi. Blue Lock.
I love Isagi. I like love him.
Yeah.
But I could be talked into a B.
I'd go higher.
Okay, me too.
I don't think I do think he's the most compelling thing about his universe, but I think a couple of characters in the universe give him a good run for his money.
I think he hasn't like, I don't know. I'm so not used to like sports anime.
Yeah.
He hasn't like done like, I feel like we're still in the beginning of Blue Lock.
We're what, 24 episodes in?
We're 24 episodes in, but I found out it's like 11 volumes.
It's still running.
Well, I mean, like, no, it like the first season covers the first 11 volumes.
Oh my God.
Like it cooks
Yeah.
through the manga. And it's like one volume, like, you know, that Chigiri episode where like Chigiri comes to terms with his ACL tear and this and that. That's a whole volume in the manga. Yeah.
What's the pacing in this manga?
Slow.
An episode is usually 2 to 3 chapters.
Yeah.
A volume is 10 chapters.
That's what I'm saying. I was looking it up because I bought some manga and I was like, oh, I'll buy like a few ahead, probably catch up to where I am. I'll buy like volumes like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Found out it covers the first 11 volumes.
That's wild.
Isn't it crazy? But so that's why like, but even though
it's like 5 chapters an episode.
I know.
That's nuts.
Its pacing is great.
Yeah.
Even though it like, you know, it's the first 11 volumes, it feels like we're still in the beginning of Blue Lock. Like Isagi hasn't fully evolved into like an S tier yet. I don't know. I would do A.
Okay, yeah. I'm very happy with that. I think it's where he deserves to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Trigun.
Stampede.
Well,
Vash.
I mean, it's like just Trigun.
Yeah, Vash.
Vash. I feel like this is another one. because gut reaction S, right?
Okay.
I love Vash.
Yeah.
I really do. I love the giddy nature. I love the fumbling of the bullets. I
Yeah.
love the accuracy. I love that the story's tied into him and his brother, like being like plants created to like terraform worlds. I feel like, though, I have to check my nostalgia S because there are some things I like. There's nothing I hate about him.
Yeah.
But I just like, I can't put him emotionally in my mind next to Spike.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I was with Isagi, where I'm like, I love Isagi, not in S, in the grand scheme of like everyone else.
Yeah. He's a high A in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I think he deserves to be next to Naruto. I think he deserves to be next to, like some of the most compelling characters out there. But I don't, like, there's nothing about him where I'm like, this is a vaulted into S category character. Yeah. Cool. Easy. Oh, Christ.
Someone's waist.
It's Noragami's MC. I'm skipping it.
Okay.
Yuji.
Oh.
This, you and me are going to have vastly different answers here because you don't know Yuji yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Anime Yuji.
Yeah.
C best.
I was going to say, give me anime and give me manga, and I'll let you be the final say on both.
Manga Yuji, high A.
Okay.
Anime Yuji, C.
What keeps him from being the S in the manga? Is it the fact that early days he's C?
It's just his story isn't done yet. So, sort of. But the thing is, Yuji has a journey.
Yeah.
And the journey is loss, pain, and just demonifying. Like, Yuji is a bright-faced, hugely smiling character in the beginning. And he gets dragged into the world of jujitsu and cursed spirits. And he's supposed to act as a symbol of what the world does to jujitsu sorcerers, and how, like, kind of what Geto was talking about, where how in order to protect non-sorcerers, they have to stack the bodies of their dead friends.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely throughout the story, you see his smile disappear. And I think the last time we see him smile is prior to the Shibuya incident when he's waking up Gojo.
Yeah.
And then you never see him smile. Like, you never see him smile again. Like, it's like a thing in like the JJK manga readers, like amongst
he
the community,
loses his smile.
where like as the panels go on, you just see him lose his smile. And so in the Shibuya incident, his character growth kind of comes to this moment where it's like you begin to like see the new foundation. And I think we're a couple of chapters away from like his peak right now. And I think there's going to be a huge scene, ideally, hopefully, like where he, gets his final like come up into like a revenge battle kind of thing. And I think that would be awesome. But like, until we get that, I can't be like, this is an S tier character, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He's not the most compelling person in his universe.
Yeah.
Like
Gojo is. Yeah.
That's it.
Gojo's an S tier protagonist.
Gojo is an S tier protagonist. Gojo's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Geto's awesome. Like Yuta's awesome. Like, I wouldn't say Yuta's the most compelling person in the universe, but so I would say a good spot for Yuji, split the diff, column B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because that all is incredibly exciting to me.
Yeah.
And it sounds like an Eren Yeager type of deal, sort of.
Imagine if Eren got more tolerable towards the end. And then stayed that way.
That's hype. Like, I am open-minded and excited about Yuji. Yeah. But not even just open-minded where I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Like, I will like him.
Yeah.
I think what the anime needs to do as an anime-only listener or watcher, listener, I've lost my eyesight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You had the Hanami treatment.
Yeah, it sounds great, but
just getting your eyes plucked out like you're Kakashi in the Fourth Great War.
But I do love the focus on Gojo. Mm-hmm. I am starting to be like, we got to get Yuji back in here if you guys want me to ever care about him.
Exactly. And
like, he's got to get in fast.
The remainder of the Shibuya incident revolves around him.
Which is hype. Yeah. That's good. And we do get a little bit of that, like, smile loss, like with the big cricket monster, with him seeing this woman get like
deformed.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah. No, but he definitely, he's a good growth, but the growth isn't done yet in the manga. So we don't know. That being said, new leaks in like 12 hours. So holy shit, am I excited. All right. Last one that we're going to do, Yusuke Urameshi.
From Yu Yu Hakusho? I have no idea.
Okay. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching Yu Yu right now. Very excited.
How far are you?
5 episodes. I'm watching it while I work out.
Right.
And what I forgot is that one very 90s character. Yeah. And that the way that like he dies in the beginning. He gets like, he like pushes a kid out of the way of a car, dies, becomes a ghost. And his thing is he takes over somebody else's body and he needs to like tell this girl not to burn his like, make sure you tell my mom not to burn my body. Because I need to be able to come back to my body. Like once I pass all these ghost trials. And he's like, he takes over somebody else's body to convey that message. And he's like, how do I possibly tell this girl that I'm her? Like, what can I do to remind this girl that I'm her? So in this other like Kuwabara's body, he gets behind her, grabs her boobs. And he's like, oh, they're so squishy. And she's like, Yusuke? And because like his whole thing is that they grew up together and he just fondles her occasionally. And I was like, I forgot this part. I forgot this part. And I was like, it's the 90s. It's grandfathered in. Because like the first episode, he's like, oh, you're wearing a skirt and he upskirts her. And he's like, it's so lacy. And I'm just like,
wow, I did not expect that nonsense from Mr. Hunter Hunter.
It was just because it's so funny because Hunter Hunter is so fucking woke. Like, Hunter is so woke. Killua has a transgender sister that he's very vehemently like, hey, you're gonna gender her correctly.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, it's so funny because it's like Yu Yu was written before Togashi married the mangaka of Sailor Moon, and then Hunter Hunter was written after he married her. So I was like, influence. I was like, that's the girlfriend effect right there. But Yusuke is a fucking dope character. He's a really dope character. He's funny as shit. So many shonen archetypes are built around his character thing. Spirit Gun is iconic. And while he isn't necessarily, he's not the most compelling thing about I'm going to say it about Yu Yu.
Yeah.
I'd say it's Kuwabara or Hiei
yeah.
are the people that people usually talk about in Yu Yu. Nostalgia clouding puts him at A. I'm going to put him at B.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to put him.
If it's just two characters who are more interesting than him, like, is it an absolute burial where it's like you're not tuning? Then I don't think it counts, right? Like, what I was talking about before is like you're not tuning into Attack on Titan for Eren. Yeah, like that's my thing. Same with Mob Psycho, really.
Yeah, you're tuning in. Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna throw him at A.
Yeah,
I feel like A is safe. And that's it. That's the end of the list.
Woo!
So, yeah, please feel free to yell at us. Yes, Denji is still an S tier. Get as upset about it as you want. We don't give a shit. We've never been right once in our life, so why do we start now? This brings us to our favorite part of the episode, where me and Danny poll the crowd for a love letter. So if you guys want to ask me and Danny questions that we answer live on the pod, you can become a YouTube member. We got 35 very chill YouTube members hanging out with us right now. Me and Danny did do about 20 minutes of us pretending to fight that you guys are going to miss now as non-YouTube members, because obviously
they got a lot of content.
They got a lot of additional content. Well, so you're also going to get me and Danny loading our girlfriends into this room to do the girlfriend podcast. So loading loading in to find extra.
Yeah, we got a hand truck in there, like.
Yeah. I don't even know where we're gonna put them actually. But so yes, if you guys want to become a YouTube member, it's either $4.99 or $5.99, depending on what team you want to be on. And this is the part of the show where we ask the love letters. So I'm gonna go turn my camera back on. Danny, grab us a question. So Xander asks, "Who's an anime villain you agree with?" I'm gonna go first here.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, hill I'm willing to die on here. Hill I've died on many times. Madara. Okay? Absolutely. So here's the thing. It's the fourth grade
what part of his ideology do you agree with?
Everything? Okay, here's the thing. Let's say it's the fourth grade shinobi ruled the war. The most powerful man on earth just reincarnated. And he's like, hey guys, I want to give you heaven. I want to give each and every single one of you an illusion so real you'll believe it's reality and you get to live in what would be your personal heaven forever. Motherfuckers have been dying for that shit for 5,000 years. Christians don't jerk off their entire life to achieve that. You're telling me that in order to achieve this, all I have to do is not fight the strongest dude in existence? Yes, please, and thank you. Everyone's like, oh, what about free will? Fuck free will. Why would I want free will if I can have free will in a universe? Listen, if your dream is free will, you'll have it in Infinite Tsukiyomi. You'll get it all day long. Listen, what about guns? What about war? If you want war, if you want to feel like you're fighting for freedom, that's what Infinite Tsukiyomi will look like for you. Hell yes. Because it's a conversation between what do you want? Freedom or security? I want security every single time. Every single time I'm saying, like, absolutely.
I am sold. Yeah. You're 100% right.
Right?
It's so, I hate like arguments like that where it's like, well, but it's not real though. And it's like, you don't fucking know. You don't, like, you won't care.
Here's my thing. They're like, oh, here's the red or the blue pill.
Yeah.
Blue. blue every single time.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
100%.
Oh, but the steak is ones and zeros. Fuck you. You remember the outside world of Matrix looked like? It was tentacle monsters.
Yeah, it was Octopus Land.
It was awful.
That sucked.
It looked so bad.
Yeah, absolutely sucked.
I would much rather live in the illusion and be like, oh, look, I have a Ferrari in this illusion. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, 1010 is my wife. Cool. I'm going to take this.
No, 100%. I like that is a Ferrari and 1010 as your wife. Is
What a
your
life.
Tsukiyomi.
What a fucking life. I'll take it every day of the week.
I agree. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I have one that's not necessarily like a villain, because I couldn't think of like a villain's ideology that I necessarily like agree with. But every time in Full Metal Alchemist that somebody bitches about being whatever they are, shut up. Al, being a giant badass suit of armor.
Okay.
Get over it.
Okay.
The big pig man, the chimera men who can transform in and out of being chimeras.
Yes.
They're all like, we can't.
The gorilla, the boar. Yeah.
They're always bitching about like, oh, how can we go see our wives and families like this? Don't be a fucking pig monster around
Just
them.
shrink.
Just be a man again.
Or do.
Yeah.
Plenty of women would be very into that.
Yeah, a lot of Shao Tucker apologists would be very into it.
Are you telling me right now if there was a 7-foot pig man right now that there wouldn't be a line of women to listen? In Baldur's Gate, you can fuck an actual bear,
can fuck
and
a bear.
90% of people did it.
That's true. That is true. Look, there's a market for sure. I don't know if their wives and children are a part of it.
Listen. Also, if my dad was a 7-foot pig man,
Be pretty cool.
I'd be stoked.
You'd be stoked at first, and then you'd hit like age 16, and he'd be like, here's your lunch. You'd be like, Dad, not in front of the school. Don't be a pig man in front of the school.
You remember like people being like, my dad can beat your dad in a fight? Motherfucker, no, he can't.
Yeah.
No, the dude with tusks?
Yeah.
My dad will gore your dad. Listen, your dad will be Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, but there's that. Everyone who complains about being a homunculus and being like, I don't want immortality. That sucks. Look, I'll concede that like Alphonse has it kind of rough because he's awake while everyone else is asleep.
Can't eat, can't sleep, can't feel.
Yeah, that's fine.
How is that fine?
What is so great that's out there to feel and eat?
If you were given sex, pizza,
in that order?
In that order.
Yeah.
If you were given 8 more hours a day at night to do whatever you want, you would become a murderer.
I would be so productive.
You would become a murderer.
I would be unbelievably productive.
There would be blood on your hands.
I would just run a nightclub.
Where? It closes at 2 a.m.
Not mine.
It has legally. It has to.
Oh, does it?
In most places,
There's
yes.
open things.
You'd have to move to Vegas, I guess, or New
I
York.
move to Vegas and have a nightclub.
And murder people.
Well,
if I had to be awake between the hours of 3 and 7 every single night, and on top of that, listen, I worked at night for almost a year. Yes, there's nocturnal people, but if I also have to be awake during the day, murder.
You know why that sucks? Because you get tired. Alphonse does not. Alphonse doesn't eat. He doesn't need to. He can't feel cold. He can't feel hot.
You know what you can get when you not tired? Done with the shit. Hey, I just spent 18 hours fighting homunculi.
Yeah.
I'd like to lay down. I'd like to feel the softness of a bed under me. Oh, maybe close my eyes. Have a nice little dream about not being a fucking suit of armor.
Look, there's downsides. No one's gonna deny that. Every now and then, Al kind of turns off for a bit.
I guess.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Also, he can break apart. One time in a recent episode, he turned off for a little bit and his friends disassembled him.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Not great.
Not great at all. And
not to mention, your entire life can be wiped away if the blood seal on the back of your neck gets wet.
Your entire life can get wiped away if somebody pushes you down the stairs.
Yeah, I guess
as a
he's
human.
living Charmander's existence holding a fucking leaf over his tail to make sure it doesn't go out.
I'm just saying there is a lot of bitching going on in Full Metal Alchemist.
So who's the villain you agree with?
The homunculi, I guess.
The thing behind the door that took Ed's body?
There's so many people who are like, no, don't be a homunculi. That'll suck. And yeah, it sucks because you get possessed by a homunculi. They don't know that at the time.
I guess.
Everyone's always like, I don't want to be immortal. I don't want to be a big suit of armor. I'd love to be immortal.
You wouldn't.
We've talked about this. I would absolutely look. You get through one wave of your friends and family dying, you get over that shit so fast. Like every other wave of your friends and family dying would be like nothing. Like then you would set your expectations. Be like, oh, I'll get attached to these people.
You want to be Omni-Man.
I'll be Omni-Man.
You just treat them like pets.
But I'm not going to murder the entire world. I just want to see what like iPhone 48 looks like.
Same thing. You gave me immortality. I'd kill. I would kill people. I just at a certain point, it doesn't matter.
I'd probably eventually start killing.
You'd start killing.
Yeah, if I'm being honest.
If any human was to turn immortal tomorrow, sure, maybe for the first 100 years you wouldn't start killing. You'd find yourself, but after 200 years on Earth, you start killing.
I'd kill.
Oh yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
because there's no. Oh, what are you gonna execute me?
I would find every person who calls me a yapper on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'd have the time.
Exactly. You're like, oh, I have to hunt down your IP, motherfucker. I'll walk there.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I become that snail.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I would love that. I'd love that chapter of your life.
There we go. I've sold you.
Mm-hmm. I'm being immortal?
Yeah.
No, I want 500 years. 500 years. That's all I need.
I would 100% be down to be immortal if I stay looking like this.
I would, yes, obviously. But the only way I would want to be immortal is if I could have now. Immortal, but I can kill myself at any point. Huge.
That's fair. If the world ends, that blows.
That's the thing. Eventually, you have to deal with the fucking implosion of Earth, and people don't realize the large part of immortality is just floating in space. Mm-hmm. You just have to swim to the next planet. Like it will never happen. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about it. If you become immortal, you have to make sure humans figure out light speed travel. That's your number one thing.
That'd be your goal, though.
The stress of that, though.
How is that not an anime? That's a good concept. A dude who's immortal and his whole motivation is just making sure humanity hauls ass towards light speed travel.
Because otherwise he will spend eternity floating in space.
That's a genuinely good concept.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I don't know who he fights. Like, I don't know
fucking people, I don't know, who don't want to go at light speed, rednecks.
I guess so.
Yeah, they're just like, no, too fast.
True, maybe he doesn't have like, he's not like not sight to mind, he just lives for a long time. Like he's not super strong.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's everything we have, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Otakus Anonymous. Next week, like we said, is going to be our girlfriend special, which we're going to film right now, and the live is actually going to continue hanging out with us as we get our girlfriends in here and get them sat down and all of that. And then after that, I'll be back from China, and we'll do the damn thing again. So unfortunately, there's going to be a big catch up on JJK and all those other things that are going on. Fortunately, we're currently between seasons. Something we didn't even talk about actually is that summer season just ended, and we're now heading into fall season. But the only thing that ended is Bleach, which was really good, actually, really, really good. We started the Royal Guard arc and all of that. And I guess Zom 100 kind of indefinitely ended, though, whatever. And so, yeah, make sure you follow us on all the other socials, TikTok, Instagram, all those other ones. If you want to support us everywhere, that'd be awesome. Become a YouTube member if you want to hang out. You want to watch us, do the in-between scenes and all of that. And outside of that, I've been NC Hammer 23, also known as the Weeb Commander, Daniel.
That was the longest goddamn outro you have ever done. I have to piss so bad.
You gonna call me a yapper?
You're just yapping away. Mayor of Yapperton. Meanwhile, piss boys.
Yeah.
Pissing up a puppa boy.
Exactly. Listen, get those pants wet, baby. We got our girlfriends coming in.
I'm Danny Motta. I'm gonna piss.
He's gonna piss.
Subscribe to all the things. Check out our merch.
Do it.
And that's it.
Cool. Bye.
Woo!